consistent.
Various.
Multiplayer?
Alright, let me get out. Nah, I'm done. I gotta go to sleep.
Oh snap! It's 7:30 now.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep.
Alright, I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm a holla.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you a website where you can say where you can wish Trump good wishes. Yeah, he's sick in the hospital. Oh my God, let's pray for Trump.
I thought he was going home. I thought he was going home tonight.
No, Monday. He's not going. He's going home on Monday. They said.
What's today? Monday?
Oh shit! Today he's going home. The fuck? Yeah, man. It's Monday, son.
Yeah, 8 o'clock or something like that. In a few minutes. Send that link so you can send your prayers to him. And maybe some oranges.
Oh, yo! Trump leaves Walter Reed Hospital 24 minutes ago.
There you go.
Hallelujah!
Send him some oranges.
He wrote, that is real. Boy, wait. Y'all want to hear the most gangster shit? Look at what he said. He said, I will be leaving the Great Walter Reed Medical Center today at 6:30. Feeling really good. Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it determine your life.
Yes!
Yes! We have developed, under the Trump administration, some really great drugs and knowledge. I feel better than I did 20 years ago.
It's a conspiracy!
He's gonna be crazy. He's gonna drive me crazy, son.
Yo,
I love niggas like that. Yo,
I love niggas like that.
Niggas like that.
4 more years.
You know, nigga, I don't even like it. All I need is that nigga's Twitter. That's it. I'm good. He be saying the wildest shit.
4 years of chaos.
Oh gosh, yeah. Actually, I want 4 more years of chaos. I like the way this went. Yeah, I'm down. This nigga caught COVID to prove a point. Oh shit! He's like, y'all niggas scared of bunch of pussy, scared of COVID. I'm passionate. I'm gonna show you how to grab him by the pussy. Fuck the mask. I'm gonna cough in Joe Biden's mouth.
Oh my gosh!
And see how good he handles it. That nigga would die, yo. You can't let that nigga die.
Oh, I feel bad just thinking about it.
He would die, and I'd probably feel bad and maybe vote for Kamala. Kamala! She's gonna win. She's gonna become president. Oh, yeah, I don't think that nigga's gonna last that long. I don't think she's gonna become president.
Who? Biden?
Huh? Yeah, nah, Biden ain't gonna last. Nah, he ain't gonna last. 4 years, bro? How old is he now? 94?
I thought he was the same age as Trump.
I don't think... Yeah, but okay, let's say he was the same age as Trump. Look at the difference between these two niggas, yo. Yo, he said, don't be afraid of COVID.
I feel better than I did in 20 years.
Yo, that nigga's crazy. I hate that nigga. I hate him and I love him at the same time.
You hate him?
Yeah.
And you love him?
At the same time, I can't help it. At the same damn time. I'm so sick of his bullshit, but I also love the shit he says. Like I'm cool with certain policies that he's passing. I'm like, yo, that's a good thing. Yo, all right, cool, yeah. But then he goes on Twitter, he says some dumb shit. I'm like, come on, bro. If it was on paper, if Twitter didn't exist, people would be like, yo, he's a good president. But because Twitter exists, he's fucking everything. He's the worst thing in the freaking world, yo. I'm watching the way he's departing from Walter Reed Hospital. I don't know how... You think he got a dick reduction? He probably got a dick reduction because the other one was too big for Melania. He's like, I've been dragging his dick behind me for too long. I had to get a new one.
Yo, he's literally right now. Yo, you gotta see this shit. I'm looking at. Oh, I'm gonna send you the link.
Send me the link. Send me the link. So yeah, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Jose, I know you love that shit. Jose loves that shit.
Yo, bro, you gotta just take over. Listen, the monopoly takeover. You know what I'm saying? Facebook got the WhatsApp. It got the Messenger. It's like either ways you're gonna.
But see, look,
use it.
but you see how like right now we're laughing about it, right? Yeah. I feel like when people like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris do something, it has to be serious. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It has to be like the worst thing ever.
They cater to the.
And it's like, come on, bro.
They cater to the paranoid people, the people that are like, oh, this is serious. Like, yo, relax, it is serious, but it's gonna be okay.
Did you hear
You're gonna still wake up tomorrow morning. Did you hear the whole Democrat Party when they found out Trump caught COVID? I almost said diabetes.
He probably does have diabetes.
What about the other 8 people that caught with him?
The only thing I saw was that Joe Biden, I think, what's it, Obama. Obama was like, I hope he gets better well. I hope he gets well soon or some shit like that. I was like, there you go. That's what I miss about presidents. Things like that.
Yo, bro, first of all, this nigga left Walter Reed Hospital, right? But where the fuck is Melania?
That bitch is probably dead. They're probably resurrecting another clone.
Yeah, right? They're resurrecting another clone right now. That's fucking hilarious.
They're like, that one died. I got another one coming out the soup soon.
Melania. It's like you gotta plug your nose to say her name.
You know what's crazy? Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting someone to do your own bidding for you?
Huh? What? Like somebody like an assistant or some shit?
No,
an assistant.
Like the very thing that you hate or you disdain from, you get the very thing that you hate, you get them. Damn, how do I put it?
You know when
like that kid?
You know when?
Yeah, that little kid.
Yeah.
That's forever my favorite meme, bro. I swear to God.
What are you talking about? Somebody that you hate that does what you want him to do?
Yeah, like imagine. Damn. Some of the racist people are the very ones talking about equality and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
And the left just eat it up. You know? Like they have no idea that this very party is the same party responsible for destroying you, and you're rooting for them.
Yeah.
Like, how do you phrase that?
It's like you guys ruined it, and you're talking about let's make it better.
Yeah. Like,
and it's like, bitch, if you would have just stood back and just chilled, everything would have been fine. But y'all want to be into Metido and start adding shit to the mix.
Yeah, and because most people are just about whatever they see on the headlines or whatever they see while they're scrolling, they don't really have a clue that they're defending the very party that helped put them in the place where they're in. Maybe not individually, but as a group, yes.
Yo, some shit. Yo, Trump is gonna be president again. I don't care what nobody says. He just, bro, this was a straight up power move he pulled.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a power move. I think this might actually hurt him. I think you're gonna get a lot of obvious backlash from the left talking about this is a hoax.
Bro, but if he comes back better, like good, in good health, everybody that said COVID is bullshit is going to be like, I told you COVID is bullshit. Look at the president. He's 85 years old, and look how good he's doing. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
People are going to be mad. They're like, you made me shut down my business and basically lose my life savings because of a sickness that an 84-year-old man got over.
Like I said,
Yeah,
I
but
don't see how this
is
is going to be a
why
good
he
thing
would've
for him.
pulled that. But my nigga, this is why he pulled that move. Think about it. It's gonna be, even if it's not a lie, right? He knew it would be highly in his favor if he survived. Because then he could talk, right? So,
If I survive this.
yo, bro, that nigga knows how to talk his shit. Have I flushed the toilet?
I don't know. I see this actually hurting him more than anything else. There's going to be tremendous backlash in light of this.
The thing is, I gotta look at it like this. People that don't like him are gonna say this is bad. People that do like him are gonna say
regardless,
this is good. But the question is the people in the middle that are not sure which way to go yet. How are they gonna look at it? Are they gonna be like, he didn't wear a mask and he got COVID, just like the Democrats said? Or are they gonna say he got COVID and got over like nothing, just like the Republicans were saying?
Right, that's what I was trying to say. That's his point. He's gotten over it just like the Republicans were saying.
Yep. That's the thing. Because he did get over it, people are going to look at it like, wait, these niggas made us do all this shit for that?
Right.
And that's what I would feel. Imagine you shut down your business. You got your life savings, and now you got to fill your home because now you can't afford it. All this bullshit because of a disease that the president in a week was like, yeah, I'm good. What's up?
Yo.
That shit pissed me off.
Not even a whole week. Word. That shit was like less than a week.
That shit pissed me off. And you're like, yo, you shut down the whole United States for freaking months. Because of that? That shit pissed me off.
Granted, the nigga had fucking remdesivir, fucking plasma.
Yeah. No, for sure. And don't get me wrong, people died. But they've been saying the same shit. People that die were dying because they had some other shit that made it worse.
But the point here is that he was saying, the shit that he took, he was saying from the get was what was helping.
Yeah, he said, this is the shit you gotta take.
Yup, and everybody was like, oh, yeah, sure, you're a scientist, right. Yeah.
Damn,
yo, it was so fucking, yo, think about it. That nigga pulled the power move.
That shit is wild, man. I want to see what happens, man.
I can't wait for tomorrow. What comes out tomorrow? It's like a fucking show that every day there's a new episode.
Yo, he's been on the news
Isn't it like
every single day with them shit. Right? For the past 4 years, that's all you hear about Trump. Every single day.
Right. Every single day for the past 4 years. That's a fact. Not even, because even before his presidential run, my nigga, I was watching the roast of Donald Trump, the fucking... Yo, he stays in the media like crazy.
He's on a Method Man album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas rap about Donald Trump. I think Ice Cube talk about how rich Donald Trump is, that he want to be like that. Like,
yeah, weird.
Yo, when I see the old shit about him, like hanging out with Al Sharpton and all these niggas,
Michael
hanging out with
Jackson.
the Clintons, and I'm like, yo, come on, guys, yo, this is the same nigga.
The Clintons.
If you go back to the Oprah video, whatever it is,
yeah.
He's saying the same shit now that he said back then. He's like, oh, we need a better economy. China's trying to take over. We got to protect our borders.
He said, but if I were to run, I'm going to run Republican because they're the dumbest voters.
Probably.
Probably, nigga. He said that. Yo, he said that in the 80s.
Yeah, but he didn't run Republican the first time.
Yeah, he ran Republican.
No, the first time he ran for a different party.
Nah, he was Republican because that's more the scrutiny. He decided to run Republican because he was going to run like independent or some shit like that.
This time he ran Republican. Last time he ran for some other. He ran for president one time before.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. You know?
No, when?
Oh, nigga, I don't know, in the 90s?
No, nigga. He said
I think.
Who's this?
Some
Huh?
Some
What?
first time Trump ran.
What are you guys looking up?
Look up the first time Trump ran for president. When he began the real estate exploratory committee on October 1989. Oh, 2000 is when he ran for president. What party was it? I can't remember. It was some weird shit.
No, he was endorsing a party. He didn't run.
No, from 2000.
He was a presidential candidate in 2000?
Yeah, I told you.
The fuck? He ran against Bush?
Early stages. Primary campaign. I forgot what party it was. It was some weird. Oh, the Reform Party. That's what it was. I don't even know what they stand for. And then when Obama called him out, when he was like, "We calling me out, nigga?" Alright.
Yo, he was sitting there looking like the Penguin. You saw his fucking face? He was sitting there with an ugly ass slick back haircut and big nose just poking out, bobbing his head forward and back.
He's like, keep talking that shit, nigga. Keep talking that shit, nigga.
Yo, but that nigga, word, you saw that? He was literally looking at him like that. Oh,
I can't believe he actually won.
He won, bro, and I think he's gonna win again.
I think so too, yo. It is what it is, yo.
He definitely really helped with Porter College.
How bad really was it? I mean, the worst thing that happened to America was COVID. Like, it had nothing to do with him.
First of all, America was so tight that when they saw Hillary Clinton with the popular vote and still didn't get Hillary Clinton as president.
Every time I see that, I think about the crying. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy, but I see that image in the back of my mind where he's crying out. That Trump won. You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, so good.
Yeah.
It's golden.
That meme?
That's just golden. It's forever etched in my mind. But I mean, imagine Biden wins.
The only thing I'm scared about, honestly, is the church.
Is the church? Yeah. If he wins, I'm scared for the church. That's a fact.
Because they, I mean, as much as they say they respect other people's things, whatever, they do not.
They respect everybody else but Protestants.
Yeah. They would never do anything with freaking Muslims, anything like that.
Catholic Church is all right. You know, they let them go by.
That's how you know it's a real church, bro. That's how you know it's a real church.
Yeah, the Jehovah's Witnesses are fine. You know, you gotta find. It's gonna be the same thing. I mean, forever for the Protestant church, though. You know that it is what it is. But I'm glad Trump came through as a Protestant. Like, nigga, I'm Protestant. I was like, Lord.
I don't think Trump is a Protestant. Yeah.
I don't think he's Protestant either, nigga. He said.
Nah, I don't.
He said in one, what was it, 2 Corinthians? It says in 2 Corinthians 1. Yeah, nigga.
That's the shit I like, though. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that was just like mad bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, I see what you're doing, bro. Bullshit.
Hold on, look, I'm going to send you the link. Where he claims to be Protestant. God is ultimate. He said God is the ultimate.
Yo, make the police academy a 4-year program, and I bet you would get rid of a lot of these assholes. I gotta go to school. I gotta go to school 8 years to understand the law enough to practice it, but it takes 6 months to earn it enough to enforce it. Fuck out of here.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, you gotta pay them for it.
It takes lawyers 8 years to attain a PhD. I mean a JD. You know,
and
then
it's months,
these motherfuckers enforcing the law
in 6 months.
In 6 months. Right.
Yeah, I agree, but then how you gotta pay them for that?
Nah,
you do.
That's
have
the thing.
to
You gotta pay them for that.
That's why defunding doesn't make sense. Reallocating does.
Yeah, the fucking doesn't make sense.
But that's the incentive that makes people want to go down that route. You know, it's like, oh, that's the easy route. I got to do 6 weeks in the academy? Cool. 6 months in the academy? Cool. Like,
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying, yo. They're just trying to get paid.
Yeah. They trying to, not just, I mean, think about it. If we didn't have police, right, how much harder would it be to enforce people to pay taxes, or how much harder it'll be to enforce people to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just shit the way the government would make money from.
Yeah. Sure.
And that's the only reason why we're so fucking heavily militarily, you know, policed.
But that's why you got to vote for a candidate that says lower the taxes, so there's less of that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
You want less of that shit. Less taxes, less things that they got enforced.
Yeah, like Biden is
that shit.
Biden is running on charging people more for their taxes.
I don't know if Biden knows what he's running on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were saying how they were both being fed. They were both being fed information. They were both wired.
Yeah, they should do away with that. If you're gonna run for president, you gotta know something.
I mean, do you? I mean, it's just a whole bunch of show. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do everything. You just have to know it.
Does good leadership mean good articulation?
No.
I mean, it should.
No, you don't need to. I don't think so.
Does that mean you have to be a grade 8 speaker to be a good leader to make good decisions?
No, that's because Joe Biden was a stutterer. You know, that means you have to count him out.
What are we asking for in a president? You know what I'm saying? Is this a beauty contest?
Yo, you sound like you're writing for Cosmo.
What are we asking for here, guys? I mean, really.
Do you ever lay down at night and wonder, does your man really think about you in his dreams?
7 ways to satisfy your man.
Wow.
My favorite is number 1. But we're starting from 7.
Yeah, but I mean, look, Winston Churchill couldn't walk. Or was it Winston Churchill or FDR? I think it was Winston Churchill. I forgot. One of the president from World War II.
Yeah, Winston Churchill.
Okay, so he couldn't walk, right? Polio. No, wait, Winston Churchill was Britain, right?
Yeah, he wasn't.
Anyway, the point is, he couldn't walk. He had a high bar.
Former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
What is the point?
Yeah. What?
And mind you, he's the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and he was British, right? That's Britain, correct?
Yeah.
So, mind you, Britain, wasn't that the people we fucking fought against in the beginning of the, you know, making America great the first time?
Yeah. We made peace with them, yeah.
But that was President Trump's message. That's why he was saying "Make America Great Again," because America was great in 1776 when we separated from Britain.
Yeah. I know, but when people say, when was it great? When there were slaves and this was like, no.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. That was the unfortunate fucking...
No.
You know...
But that was the world. That wasn't just America. That was the entire world.
Yeah.
It's unfair to blame America for something that the whole world participated in. The whole world... America didn't start anything. They were just part of the system that was already in place.
Yeah, they broke apart from paying taxes to the United Kingdom.
I mean, when America founded, half the country was... They got rid of slavery automatically. It was the lower states.
Granted, they enslaved the blacks. They fucking committed...
The
blacks. They committed genocide. against the Native Americans. The Native.
Did you see the video? You know the video with Trump?
The
Trump is
Native.
like, do you want me to call you African American or black? What do you
Yeah,
want?
he said, I want to hear from an African American. What do you want me to call you? Yo, that shit
That's fair though.
dying.
that is fair though.
That is not fair. First of all, no, but I did like when he said, I don't want to hear from, I want to hear from an African American.
From a black.
From a black. So what do you blackies want me to call? Bro, that nigga is fucking racist, bro.
Wow, how is that racist?
Yo, what do you mean? How is that not racist?
So call somebody black?
No, to keep transferring back and forth from African American and black.
I mean, really, that's an honest question. What do you want me to call you? What do you like better? I feel like that's a fair question.
From the blacks.
The blacks.
Because not all black people are African American.
Not all black people are African American.
No, they don't like that. Some of them don't like to be called
some of them
aren't
African American. Yeah, some of them are African, right?
Some of them are Haitian. Some of them are Jamaican. They don't want to be called African American.
Because Haitians, they were enslaved and brought to Haiti from Africa. So come with a better fucking argument, all right? And
so call a Haitian an African American. See what they call you.
Yo,
that's what
we put a curse on you. What do you?
That's the argument they used to have in the freak when I worked in the hospital.
They'll curse you and your children. Yo, Haitians. I heard
the argument they used to hate. They didn't like being called blacks, and they thought African Americans were black. That's what they used to call them, black. I hate that black guy. That's what they used to say. I hate the black guy.
Yeah,
they don't like being called African. They're not African.
Yeah, because they don't know that. I mean, but that goes back to what I was telling you before about 400 years plus, of people being stripped away of their identities, and emerging from this thing with a lot of self-hate.
I mean, but then what your argument is basically saying?
No,
they should call us Spanish from Spain. Because that's our history. That's where we're from. We're not Puerto Ricans.
No,
we're Spanish.
Listen, Haitians, we would have called them French if that was the case. French people took over Haiti.
Yeah, but they won. They fought back and they won their freedom.
I wouldn't say they won freedom, but
what are you talking about, bro? That's how Haiti got started.
They didn't win freedom because of fighting back.
Haiti?
Yeah.
They're the only country in the world that fought slavery. They revolted and they won their country. They fought the French. They fought them off. They have I forgot what the name of it. They have a holiday.
Oh, okay, you're right. They fought for independence. You're totally right.
Yeah. They're the only country.
The country was morally, physically, and emotionally bankrupt. It was, to put it bluntly, a murderous, bloody revolution against French, erupting in 1791 and concluding nearly 13 years later with a hard-fought victory. Now, was it black people that fought back? Was it the blacks that fought back?
The blacks.
The blacks.
The blacks.
The blacks.
No, but they
today they are known as Dominican Republic and Haiti, respectively. Oh wow.
Hispaniola.
Hispaniola. Yeah, they were from West Africa. They were brought slaves in from West Africa. Yeah, see, but they fought for their freedom.
I mean, think about it. If you fought for your freedom, you're proud of your place. You're like, yo, call me.
And that's something really proud of, because I know Puerto Rico is really putting us down right now, trying to become a state.
I hate it. No, but I'm saying, like, okay, so, whatever. These countries, these Caribbean countries, they want to be called what they are. Jamaicans are super proud of their heritage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they want to be called. I don't want to be called African. I'm not African American. That's like them calling us Mexican, because all you see is Mexican. Mexicans are majority.
I get that argument, but I'm saying like, okay, for example, let's say Mexicans, they hate to be called Native Americans sometimes.
Yeah.
When in all reality, they're Native Americans.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
most Mexicans do. A lot of Mexicans, they do.
Some of them got more Spanish in them. Like
They
the
know
lower.
they're Native. That's what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say they don't consider themselves Native. I meant to say. Yeah. Right, like Puerto Ricans too. Like, you know how we know we're Taino Indian, right? We know that, but we call ourselves still Puerto Rican.
Taino and what's the other one?
Spaniard?
No. Taino, there's two Indians. Oh gosh, I gotta forget. Blackface.
Blackface.
Shit, what was it called? Yo, hold on, I forgot what it was called.
It's Taino and Arawak.
Arawak.
Yeah,
Arawak. No, I think you're right. Arawak.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Hold on. Now, Arawak might be Pokemon.
Marowak? Pokemon.
Oh, it is Arawak. It is Arawak.
I know. I'm not that dumb. I was talking about we have Pokemon. No, but you know, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we don't recognize our, I want to say the race that was oppressed, that is within us, right? I feel like it's a slap in our face continuously to strip our identity. You know, because that's basically what it is. Continuously stripping the identity away by trying to say, no, you're not this. I'm telling you, you're this. You know?
So, like, but who's doing it?
White people that oppressed us?
That's the theme, buddy.
No, but I'm saying, like, but I mean, but what are you talking about? You were talking about Trump calling him black or African American. He's like, what do you want me to call you?
Yeah. That was, yeah. I mean, I was just saying, it's pretty wild to say.
Call him the black.
Yeah. No, there's some black people out there. Man. Yeah.
Look at my African American brother over there.
Yo, the election is like how many days away?
The election? Bro?
30 days, right?
What is it? November 2nd or something like that?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
November 4th.
I got the holiday for me.
I think it's the 4th, so it's official.
Oh, yeah, it's on the 3rd. It's on the 3rd, election day.
So what is it, 29 days away?
That's right. This nigga, what's his name? Chris Rock on SNL. He was like, of course they got the election day on he said, it's the best time to have an election day is on a Tuesday. Because ain't nothing going on Tuesday. You can't call off on a Tuesday. He's like, everybody know you ain't doing nothing on a Tuesday. Like, yeah. That's true. Like, there ain't no reason you shouldn't go vote. Unless you're like me. Nah. Me. I mean, I don't know, man. I think...
Vote for Biden.
Are you guys voting for Biden? I want to know. I don't want to be the only person voting for Trump here.
I'm not voting for Biden. I already told you I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen.
You're voting for who?
Joe
Rogan?
I wish I could vote for Joe Rogan.
This nigga's voting for Joe Rogan?
No, I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. She's in the ballot for all 50 states.
She's in the ballot for all 50 states. And you're voting for Joe Jorgensen?
Yeah.
Hamilton? Camel Toe Harris?
She probably does.
Can you just
I
write
think
in
it's
any
time
name?
for a woman president, Mike.
She just screamed mad hard in my ear.
Mike, it's time for a woman president, Mike.
I don't think yet. I think they need to take more anabolic steroids.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Biden winning and God forbid something happens to him, and then Kamala Harris being the president?
Right. And then a war breaks out here in America, and she has to be in the front line. That's who you're gonna trust.
See, but this is a thing like this, right? This is what I think about too. Like when things go down and you need the police, after you talk so much shit to the police are not gonna be like, "Oh no, we got you."
Man, that's what I'm saying though. That's why we don't need the police, because they hold grudges. First of all, they're the least Christ-like people I've ever seen in my life.
So then, what do you want, militias?
Yeah, I mean, First Amendment.
There you go, Kyle.
First Amendment.
What's his name? That kid, Kyle, whatever.
You want more gangs?
No, he's talking about the
Blade,
little white
chains, baseball bat. Nigga, that's what this whole fucking country was built on. It's gangs.
The white kid that shot those 3 people. He's talking about things like that.
Nah, that's not a militia. That's a militia.
That's what went out there. It was a militia. That's what they said it was.
That's a malicious act.
They went out there to protect businesses because the cops weren't doing it.
Yo, first of all, it was him and like 2 other niggas. That's not no militia.
I think it was more than that, yo.
How many people shot that day?
How many people got shot?
No, how many people were shooting?
Damn, I don't know, nigga. That's a good
A
question.
lot? Was it a lot?
I
just
mean,
that one dumbass kid.
I mean, it was more than him, right? Because there was a point where somebody was attacking him and somebody was shooting their gun in the background.
What was his name?
Kyle Reese.
I know it's Kyle something.
Kyle Reese. Look up Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese.
From the Terminator.
He needs him to survive, you know?
He's the leader of a militia.
Kyle Reese, yeah. I sent that nigga the video, yo. There was a lawyer that was breaking it down.
Bro, that was not a lawyer. He was speaking as though he was not a lawyer. He was some dude who was speaking, trying to use the law. That's what was happening.
Bro, the only 2 videos I sent was from 2 different lawyers.
Bro, you talking about that black dude?
Colin Noir? He's a lawyer, bro.
He did not look like. He does not.
He don't look like a lawyer because he's black?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was gonna say that he didn't look like no lawyer. That was racist as fuck. Nah, not because he's black. He looked more like a cop.
Well, he's into the Second Amendment. He's like, as a people, this is our right, our God-given right to protect ourselves.
Not everybody just loves the one amendment you love. Well, which one is it? The 13?
First of all, that's the one nobody should. That's the one everybody should be fighting to change.
Here we go.
That's what freaking Kanye was saying. Everybody hated him for it.
I hope President Ronald McDonald changes it.
Yo, what you're saying is exactly what Kanye said. We got to change the Second Amendment. We got to abolish it. Everybody was saying that he's racist. I was like, what is going on?
You know what he's trying to
Yeah, they said he was racist.
I was like, what are you guys talking about, bro?
That
he said nothing about race.
Right.
He said right.
Now, I could be wrong. I don't think the 13th Amendment says anything about race.
No,
enslaved
it's not
people.
the point about race. It doesn't say anything specifically about race. The point is, at the time, at the time the 13th Amendment was put in place, was to abolish slavery. Who were the only fucking people that were slaves?
The Mexicans.
Come on. This is not a trick question.
The African Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that law applies to
that's what they
everybody.
want to be called, though. Is that what they want to be called?
I mean, those are the only ones we had in America that went through.
You didn't hear the lady shout out, black. Black, call us black. You call us black. That shit was funny as fuck.
I think it's better to call them to say black instead of African American.
Yeah, we love that shit.
I feel like black is more encompassing of more people.
Even though, let's be for real, the term comes from English, the English translation of negro, right? I mean,
Still black, man. Just a color.
yeah, that was the fucking suppressive language that was given upon them.
I think it was just a descriptive language.
Nah, nigga. That was straight suppression. Just like the Browns, the Reds.
I never heard the term the Browns unless it came from Mexican. They love calling themselves that.
Yeah, that's the brown. You got brown people.
But they're proud of that shit.
Puerto Ricans are brown people.
Yeah, but I never. If somebody was calling me, I wouldn't take offense to it. I'd be like, yeah, nigga, so what?
Yo, you're such a Uncle Tom.
So if somebody called you brown, you would be offended by it?
Bro, I would be so offended. If a white person called me brown, I'd be like, listen, not just anybody. If a white person decides to think they're going to call me brown, I'm going to be offended because that is oppressive language.
Did they teach you this in school?
No, I'm learning. What you don't understand? This is oppressive. What?
Because this sounds like the thing that they were talking about in the early 2000s about school.
You're pro-oppression is what you're telling me.
I love when this happens. You're saying I'm saying something?
What's that?
You're saying I'm saying something?
Yeah, you just asked me something.
Yeah. I said, would you get offended if somebody says that you're brown?
And I said specifically,
said, yeah.
If a white person were to call me brown, not just anybody. Like if brown people, who are brown just like me, call me brown, I'm cool with that. Just like my nigga, you know what I'm saying? This is what we use amongst the browns and blacks.
I don't see the offensive part of it. We should be proud of it. We should take pride in our race, in our color.
I take pride in it to the point where I won't allow my oppressor to continue to oppress me. I take pride.
The nigga that sold your house? Who oppressed you?
I take pride amongst my pride.
Who's oppressing you right now?
That's a lot of pride.
You white devil. Nah.
This nigga just bought a camera that he can shove up his ass. He's talking about people oppressing him.
It's a plumber's camera.
Whatever you want to use it for is your business.
Look, I'm telling you there is oppressions out there, for example, that are still in place today. And some people do not believe it's there, and that's sad.
I'm sure they are, but being brown is not oppressive.
Okay, all right. I'm not saying the color brown is oppressive. What I'm telling you is the way it's used by whites is oppressive. It's oppressive language. It's calling us something we're not. It's calling us something far from our identity.
What are we not? We're not brown?
We're not identified.
But hold on,
as
it
brown.
is an accurate description. I mean,
Bro, okay, let's first go into understanding white is not a race, number one. White, to say you're white is a philosophy. It's a philosophical understanding.
So white is not a race.
No, where the fuck do whites come from? What is that?
America,
What?
baby.
No, where did... See what I'm saying?
Same place the blacks come from.
That's a philosophical thing.
the same
It's
place
not
the
a real
blacks
race.
come from.
Then where did the blacks come from? That nigga... This nigga...
Are you sure
love
it's the same
white
exact place? Because
Well, I mean, you're not the... You're like Irish people don't call themselves white. They're Irish.
Right,
Only
because
American whites call themselves
Yo,
white.
when the Irish came here from Ireland, white people called them inside out niggers. They didn't believe they were white at all. They're not amongst the white race. They were, because of the way they spoke and behaved, etc., etc. Yo, if you look at the way Ireland, the history of when Ireland migrated here, of course they're not considered white. They still don't consider themselves white. And the ones that
even Italians, none of them niggas consider themselves white.
Yeah, and the ones that do just don't know their history. They don't know
Like,
the
okay.
history.
Like, what the hell is that bitch name? The one that used to live in the dorms. What the hell's her name?
no, that's not two names.
You
The
know,
white chick that used to live in the dorms.
like you know.
What's her name?
The one that tried to oppress us?
Yeah,
Remember
that?
that? Yeah.
What the hell's her name, yo?
Yo, every day we would figure something out. Like, oh my gosh, that is a white power move.
What the hell? Oh, Leslie. Leslie's white. Leslie's white.
Bro, in all reality, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. She had the philosophical track of thought of what it meant to be white. She didn't say, oh, my family's from Germany, I'm German, or I'm from Ireland, or I'm from Iceland, or, you know what I'm saying? She didn't know how to track her roots back to a specific country. Instead,
What are you talking about? She told me what country she's from, nigga.
where? She didn't tell me.
Her, she's
All I
French. She's
remember was her
French.
saying she's white.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. She's white because she's American white. She's a mutt. If she was Italian, she would say, I'm Italian. Or if she was Irish, she would say, but she's not. She's a mix of it, so she's American white.
Bro, that's not... That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's not... American white is not a thing. It was a mix of things. You just say you're mixed with German. I'm a mix of Indian. You know, when I explain my race to people...
Yeah, but we say we're Puerto Rican.
I say I'm Puerto Rican, and I say, that's a mix of Spaniard, it's a mix of African, Taino, Arawak, right? I don't sit here and say, yo, I'm brown.
But you could if you wanted to.
I could if I wanted to, but that's if I chose to go by the oppressive language of white philosophers.
So you're saying that Mexicans oppress themselves?
Oh, what?
By calling themselves brown?
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Amongst each other, we call ourselves brown and black because of our historical oppression, right? We're bred to call ourselves that. But when it comes to being oppressed continually, I'm against the oppression.
You're saying that white people...
We don't see it as we're oppressing ourselves, And in all reality, we kind of are when we say shit like that, in all reality, because we lose our identity. We lose the fact that...
So wait, are you saying that we're the situation that we're in is self-oppression?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's self-hate, self-oppression. That's a fact. I mean, think about it. You got white people that claim Taino Indian is completely eradicated, right? So calling us brown, calling us black, calling us whatever is saying, you know, they won or they're superior to our, you know what I mean? Like, it's the whole philosophical understanding behind what it means to be white that makes certain things like calling me brown disgusting. I feel disgusted by that sort of mentality because it's like you're claiming to be, you know, superior and all of this, but it's not even a tangible thing. It's not even something that is you know, it's made up. It's a fucking a fantasy. Like fantasy, you know, it's a straight up fantasy, bro. That's just not real. The white race is not real at all. Yeah, there's nothing real about white. Like it's like.
So you're not. So you will still call them white, even though you don't think it's real, right?
That's what I'm trying to explain. There are different. That's what I'm trying to explain as far as the oppression goes and how deep it runs. You know, whereas in all reality, we should not. If we really want to wake up the world, I think it's important to remove the white, brown, black, anything that speaks specifically of color, and then it's like really dig deep into, okay, but where are you from? You know, really dig at people. You know, where do your roots come from? Germany, France, Britain, et cetera, you know, because
some people get offended by you asking where they're from.
Yeah, well, understand something. I don't give a fuck if white people who claim to be white get offended when I ask where you're from. All right?
Yo,
what about Asian?
Hold on. Do me a
what
favor.
about Asian people?
White people. Wait. White people do not care when they always ask that disrespectful ass question. Where are you from? Or what are you? Yeah, like. First of all, I'm born in Brooklyn, New York. What do you mean where I'm from?
So you're gonna say you're American?
Born here. Yeah, it's so annoying.
People used to be like,
would you say you're American?
Human.
Right, I'm human. At the end of the day, I feel like that's the best thing to push. Is that stress the fact that I'm human. I'm 100% a full human being.
All right,
because white philosophy told us that we're 3/4 of a human. What was it? Like 3/5 of a human?
3/5.
Yeah. 3/5 of a human.
Unless you're Indian, then you're nothing.
And then you're nothing. You're like a table, right? What was that? That's what he said. That's what they would say. That you're like a table or a tree or right?
Get them out of here.
Get them out of here. Yo, the biggest lynching was amongst the native people, done by the president, who abolished slavery, by the way. He was the one who called for the lynching of almost 40 Native Americans at one time.
Why?
Because of a revolt to get back their land that was being stolen from them. Was it
about the kid that got sick?
I'm like, what do you mean, why?
No, I don't know why.
Yo, why do you ask specific questions to try to protect your oppressors?
I want to learn history. I don't want to just because one person killed another doesn't mean it wasn't justified. It doesn't mean that there's a reason why. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know why it happened.
Why the revolt?
When I say some slaves revolted and they fought back.
Specifically, why? I did say why. I said they were fighting back for their land that was stolen, et cetera, et cetera.
Yo.
A lot of reasons.
Yo, check this
A
out.
lot of reasons.
Trump is 74 years old and has a diet that consists of McDonald's and Cokes. If he survives COVID, I don't want to hear a single person say we need to stay in lockdown.
Told you.
Bro, me and my
bro.
wife eat McDonald's all the time. We eat, we eat McDonald's, Wendy's. We eat all kinds of shit, bro. We've been out
Bro,
there.
but that-
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Well,
We
yeah,
haven't
that's what
been.
we were saying before.
We just go out.
People are gonna be like, "What is going on? Like, why you had us locked down? If this old man got better."
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's why he's going to win again. That's why he's going to win the seat again, for sure.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Don't be afraid of COVID. Yo, I sent you something on Instagram.
Retarded.
I sent y'all
Yo.
something on Instagram.
I do not have an Instagram, bro.
Wow.
You got a Facebook, but you don't got an Instagram.
Yo,
and
I'm
I'm the
ready
old
to-
one. And I'm the old one.
Tell them watch.
What was that thing called?
The Social Dilemma.
Yo, did y'all watch The Social Dilemma?
I felt like
That's
I
a-
knew what it was all about before, bothering with more than 10 minutes of it.
You're gonna know exactly what it's about. The first 10 minutes, you're like, "Oh yeah, I knew all this."
Yeah, I watched like
Yeah,
10 minutes. I'm
but-
like, I'm good. I know what this is.
But
I watched the whole thing though. But still,
okay, you saw it then, right? Did you realize what was going on? What was being said?
All of the previous CEOs of the major Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, people who developed certain parts of those, like the like button, they realized what they were doing was unethical and they got out of it.
Right. The biggest topic was
Dopamine.
unethical thing. It was the
There's literally them against the court trying to battle and get some of this shut down and to do the things ethically versus unethically, because everything they're doing right now with our social media is they're making money off of using
unethical practices.
unethical.
Yeah, it's all about unethical practices that are going on and people whistleblowing. It's a whole show about media, social media, social media, freaking top guys who were fired, quit, or whatever because they tried to make a difference for the people. But the people are so, you know what the one guy said? He was like, I remember the first few days, man, it was like a revolt, He was like, I had everybody like, let's get, let's change this, let's change that. He was like, the next few days, it was like nothing ever happened. They were back in their phones. He was like, they just completely forgot about what we were doing. He was like, the attention spans are that bad because of social media.
Because of COVID, nigga.
Because of social media. The way they navigate your brain, your thinking, utilizing things like
And who's they?
like utilizing
But
like
I
ads.
feel like this is like we knew all this.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
who's they?
Bro,
The people that work there.
Who's they? So that
yeah,
would be the
like
audience.
they were.
Who's they? Who the hell's
The-
they?
They were the one was the ex VP of Facebook. One was the ex freaking guy.
These are guys that they write the algorithms for the let's say the like button on Facebook. The thumbs up.
Yeah, the guy actually created. One of the guys was the guy that created the like button on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was all the creators of the beginning.
Yeah, like the inbox, the Gmail guy was on there. And they were talking about like how these things are addictive. It was all an addiction. It was controlling our minds in the same way an addiction was.
Addiction. If they couldn't make it continuously addiction, then they were no longer welcome to work for that company.
Yeah, you had to be unethical to work for these companies. In a nutshell,
So should
that's
government have oversight?
It's a bullshit.
what government.
No, the government does have oversight.
Should they?
No, the government didn't.
The
know,
question. My
they-
question is, should they?
Well, the thing is that the problem becomes. This is why they created those people who were on that show. They created a branch called the Humane Technology Society.
Also, what AOC was arguing about was AI and how it basically breaks, all of our privacy within the internet and so forth. That's what AOC was literally just.
Yeah, that was one of her biggest arguments for sure. She had a talk. AOC had a talk with I think it was Congress. No, not Congress. It was a Supreme Court hearing. During the Supreme Court hearing, she was talking about basically how technology, is really infringing on our rights and on a lot of different rights that people are so unaware of because we're so addicted to these platforms, and there's nobody fighting for us. It's like we're not fighting, if we're, it's like.
And so people are just so unaware of what we're doing every time we get on our phones and do that.
I wonder if that relates to anything in regards to like Trump trying to ban TikTok. If that relates in any way.
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why he was trying to ban TikTok.
Because the banning of TikTok had more to do with the collection of data.
And wasn't the hearing that wasn't there a hearing recently with the major corporations, including Apple, about information and client information and Privacy Act?
I think so.
I think it was
like
Google, Apple. It was Google, Apple, Facebook. And remember, you and I were talking about why is that? You were saying why is Apple part of it if Apple's not a social media?
Yeah, they're not a social media company. That's right.
Right, and what was it? They went before the Senate or wherever it was. They had to go, and the reason why they were going was because what were they doing with their clients' personal information, right, or something like that? I forgot what.
They went before Don Francisco.
Oh snap! Walter McCall better have been there in the background with his Puerto Rican cape.
In the investigations that followed the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack, it was determined that laundered money financed some of the pre-attack preparations by the U.S.-based participants.
Okay, so what you're saying is they found that there were U.S. participants?
That laundered money.
Funding?
She brought it back to 9/11.
Well, she's studying right now, continuing education for her licensing, and one of her chapters is called money laundering, and it's about how some people, it was found in the chapter, it shows how there were people in the U.S. that laundered money to support they funded the terrorist attack from here, our country.
This is your country, man.
Our country, yeah. This is my country. This is
No
my
one's
country.
like,
I'm
man
native.
up, son, or get out.
I'm native. What are you talking about? They don't belong. The white, other people don't belong. They gotta go back to their country. Nah.
Yo, it's like 29 or 28 days, yo.
You don't gotta go back unless you are mixed colored.
You don't gotta go back where?
To your country, unless you're an oppressed
money laundering operations.
individual.
Operation
But if you were an oppressor, you need to go back to your country. What's that?
One of the largest code name operations in money laundering. It's called Operation Taxton.
Look at that, Illuminati. Hello.
Yo, so Biden 2020, yo.
Why you keep pushing Biden for president? You know,
No, like, you seen it from Biden, bro.
I'm just trying to imagine what that would look like.
White supremacist.
I just want to know. I just want to try to imagine that. You know what I'm saying? You wake up,
So you want
Biden's
security
president.
taken away?
Right. So you want your Social Security taken away? You want
I-
taxes?
I never
You
said
want-
anything about what I want. I said, imagine waking up tomorrow. And
Oh yeah, and you're just completely oppressed.
I mean,
I think Noel would like that.
yo, you don't think that Biden would mess
So
up?
suppressed.
Hold on. You don't think that Biden would I don't know if you guys been catching the videos of Biden messing up. But you don't think Biden would mess up?
I look
You
at
don't
that.
think that Biden would mess up enough that eventually the people are gonna be like, yo, we gotta invoke the 25th or whatever it is.
They would never get him. He's God.
No, but I'm saying, like, you know, how much can you actually hide with, you know, CGI and effects if it's live?
Wait, what?
Imagine him being president and, like, something happens and something, God forbid, else happens. There's a hurricane, and every time he goes live, he messes up, like he's saying some wild ass. You think they will let that continue to fly?
They would do it way nicer than they would ever do for like Trump.
Like Trump, they want to murder
If Trump
him.
made one slip up, bro, it's over for that nigga.
Bro, he slipped up this whole time. You think this wasn't all a game to make the people think, oh, he slipped up. He almost slipped up. No, this guy's been slipping up, saying the most reckless things I've ever heard an individual say this whole time. Bro, they've done nothing to him.
I don't know. That's a lot of people that's you know why I can't believe that? Because that's too many people that would have to keep it a secret for him to hide the fact that he made this up. Listen, even if I was a security guard, even if I was a chef and I heard words hold on, even if I was just a doorman and I heard that there was wind, like this nigga's not really sick, yo, I'm going to TNZ, nigga. I'm making $10 million real quick. Later, bitch. I'm gonna record that crap. It's just too much. I don't know. I don't see how. You know what I mean? There's just too many people around him to keep it a hush.
Nah, yeah, I'm not saying it was a secret. I don't think he's lying. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying whether he was lying or telling the truth, it works out in his favor.
Oh hell yeah! Oh no, no, I don't think so. I think this is gonna hurt him more than it helps.
You think so? Why would you think it'll hurt him?
Because the media makes money off of bashing him. The viewers want to hear negative. They want to hear something. You know what I mean? So if they could,
but people ask why. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to know why. So, like, whatever happens with Trump, like when they bash Trump, my favorite question is why. Why are you bashing him? What did he say? What did he do? If it's some wild shit, then yeah, you should bash him. But if it's some shit that's like, why would you even? You guys are taking it to a level where it doesn't need to go. Like you're adding words to his mouth. Remember when that shit happened when he said there was some very fine people on both sides.
Yeah.
And all they were saying, oh, he supported white supremacy, he said this and that. But then when you go back and watch it, the whole statement, he says, there was very, very fine people on both sides. I'm not talking about the white supremacists. They should be, whatever.
Yeah. He did condemn.
Right, so they should be condemned, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the media never talked about that. So as soon as they started questioning, oh, he's a white supremacist, he supports that, I was like, well, why are they saying that? I need to go back and review it. Because sometimes people say shit just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to get views. They're a news agency. They're trying to get money. So to them, they're like, if we say this, the people that watch our show hate Trump, and they're going to eat this up. So we have to say it. And if you look at, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Project Veritas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's conspiracy theory.
Project Veritas, they do like hidden video cameras. So basically what they do is they get a guy to get hired by a company, let's say CNN. And then the guy wears a camera while he's working. And there was, one of the famous ones was when they were talking about the Russia scandal of Trump, colluding with Russia. What's the name of the black dude with the bald head? I forget his name, not Don Lemon. one with the glasses. Van Wick. Van Jones. Van Jones. So there's a famous video of Van Jones, the guy with the hidden camera, he's talking to Van Jones. And Van Jones says the whole Russiagate thing, that's a nothing sandwich. There's nothing there.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? From the freaking reporter that's telling you on the news later on that night that it's a big conspiracy theory. Just to show you, like, yo, it's not what they say, yo. They're trying to get paid, yo. They're just like everybody else. They're just trying to get money. That's how they're doing it. I respect it, though. That's the good thing. You know, that's what they want to do to get money. That's what it is.
That's the hustle.
Who's they?
It's the hustle, yeah.
The ones who want to get paid.
The news, yeah. It's the hustle, son.
It is a
You
hustle.
gotta live, you know?
Right, but who are they getting paid by?
It doesn't matter.
Who are they getting paid by?
The result of
The
the same.
advertisers.
Yo, you heard how he tried to shut it all down already? Like,
Yo,
he
but
was
the
Fox
results of
News?
this, who cares who it is? You, nigga, you.
Wait.
No, the advertisers. The advertisers that pay for the commercials were all the viewers.
Did you not hear what happened on Fox News? Did you guys watch that interview with Gingrich?
Gingrich?
Yeah.
I did not.
I did not.
Well,
I don't watch that shit.
He was on Fox News, and he was telling everybody, like, yeah, you know, CNN and all these people, you know, they not CNN. He was like, the police are funded by Soros or something like that. I don't know, something about George Soros funding something, and
I don't think George Soros funds the police. I know he funds things like Black Lives Matter and everything. I know
he funded the police out in California to do certain things, and he funded. So he was talking, basically he brought up George Soros, right? And one of the reporters came out of nowhere and was like, "Oh, I don't think George Soros needs to be a part of this conversation." And
I don't think he's talking about Fox. I think he's talking about CNN.
Okay, I'm sending you the link right now.
Yeah, because CNN doesn't like talking about it. Fox is all over it.
Yo, it was Fox News.
I want to hear it. I gotta see it.
Send it, Mike.
Okay, and then George Soros. So look, I'm
talk about George
so that's awesome. Yo, they first of all, this is somebody who Fox News shuts down Newt Gingrich over Soros conspiracy theory. There you go. They called it a conspiracy theory, bro. That this guy was. They say this is how they're defending themselves, but you gotta watch it. Can you put it to play for our viewers?
Progressive district attorneys are anti-police, pro-criminal, and overwhelmingly elected with George Soros' money, and they're a major cause of the violence we're seeing because they keep putting the violent criminals back on the street.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this.
He paid for it. I mean, why can't we discuss the fact that millions of dollars he spent?
I agree with Melissa. George Soros doesn't need to be a part of this conversation.
Okay. So it's verboten.
All right, we're good.
George Soros hates the United States, and I'm judging that by the projects that he funds, all of which are designed to change the country as it is now or to thwart U.S. interests.
George Soros is not surprising that George Soros is behind us. George Soros paid for the fake dossier, paid Glenn Simpson and Fusion GPS. So he's connected throughout all of the left-wing activities in this country and around the world.
Okay. Noel, did you see it?
Hold on, not yet.
So, so what?
Now we can get back into the Illuminati conversation. So
Yeah,
I want
so
to
while he watches it, the audience just watched it. So what do you think is going to be the outcome of this COVID-19 with Trump? You think it's going to help him? You think that was whether it was a hoax or not? You think it's going to help him out?
Yeah, because he was the one fighting. He came into this fight against globalism initially, and we know he's taking certain roots in his political movement to fight against nationalism. Like, I mean, what is it? Internet globalism. My bad.
Internetism.
You know, internetism. So, you know,
I gotta watch the whole thing.
Wait, so you're for Trump?
I want to watch the whole interview.
I'm
the fact that
right
the video's
now,
cut up, right, Noel?
Yeah, because I want to know what they were talking. Maybe they were talking about something, and she was like, "That's not part of. Don't. You're going off topic."
Yeah. Maybe it's cut up.
Okay?
I don't like anything that's cut up.
I need to hear the whole thing.
No. His topic. Listen, he was talking about what he felt. Right? They didn't say he was going off topic. They were saying they don't feel like George Soros needs to be a part of this conversation, and they shut him up. George Soros. Why? Because George Soros is funding Fox News. He funds Fox News. His money is so long, bro. You'd be surprised the things he's got to hand it. And why?
Money long.
He got long sausage fingers.
No, but wait. No, I gotta hear the whole thing. I gotta hear it.
You gotta
hear. He's talking about that they're funding. If you listen to what he said, that they're funding the opposition. They're funding that, like.
Yeah, he was speaking facts. He's not going off. He's not going off topic. He was talking about in conjunction to prove a point as far as what's really going on.
No, that's true. I know that, or not that I know, but I've widely heard that it's true. Because I heard, I hear Tucker Carlson talk about it. Tucker Carlson on Fox News. That's what I'm saying. Why did they say that? Is it part of, because I've heard it on Fox News other times where they freely talk about it.
Some of the ladies were liberal.
Now what?
Oh, I thought you were. So, see, look at the ladies that were there. One of the ladies that were there worked for George Soros or something like that. And she was offended. It was out of offense. They were offended.
Okay.
Newt Gingrich, isn't he a part of the Trump administration?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. Can you look that up? Will they? Hmm? I don't think Newt Gingrich is part of the Trump administration. I could be wrong, because I don't think so. He's an older cat.
Yeah.
Not like older age, but like old, like long time ago stuff. Like years ago before Trump became office.
No, he's the Republican Party.
How do you spell Newt Gingrich?
Yeah, that's why.
NEWT.
Hold on. This is why it threw Trump supporters off when they shut him up.
Okay,
because this is somebody.
Newt Gingrich.
NEWT.
Trump.
He's a Republican. This is why it threw his followers off when Fox shut him down like that.
Well, Trump and the Republicans are different, right? Trumpism and Republicanism Republicanism is different. They're two different things.
No, we're talking about the Republican Party.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Republican Party, a lot of people in the Republican Party.
Newt Gingrich right now.
He doesn't align with our.
One of the speakers he speaks publicly for Trump.
Can you check that? I was going to make sure before we go.
What was the question? So what am I checking for?
Newt Gingrich all the time.
Newt Gingrich. What is he doing right now?
I literally saw this go down live because that's how often I listen to Newt Gingrich speak about Trump and his pro-Trump
Well, I mean, just because somebody's pro-Trump doesn't mean they're working for him. Just means they're
he's a Republican. I mean, what do you mean? We're talking about real core followers like myself. Now I'm just kidding.
but I'm saying, okay, let's just say you like Trump a lot. Doesn't mean you work for him. Just means you like him.
What?
Right? You don't work for Trump.
No, I'm saying he's all right. His role. Let's tell you his role. All right, his role.
I just typed in Newt Gingrich and Trump, and I got Newt Gingrich dire dead wrong warning for Trump supporters. That's an article December 2nd, 2019. July 7th, 2020. An article by Time Magazine goes to how Newt Gingrich laid the groundwork for Trump's Republican Party.
Right. This is a main dude in the Trump administration. So, mind you,
let me look up. Always looking up words. Like I need to know if he's working for him or just likes him, or working for somebody and liking somebody is two different things.
I have no idea, bro. I think he.
if I'm telling you something, maybe you just need to look more into that person.
I know who the Gingrich is. That's what I'm saying. He's an old guy. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, he's not even that. He's like a year older than Trump.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he's been in politics for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was Congress from like 80. Well, he was in office from 89 to 95. Not that long, but.
Not what I'm saying. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, 79 to 99, my bad. Oh, it goes
so what you
even
got,
further back.
Cool, I'm looking at his thing right now. Speaker of the House, early life. I want to see what he's doing today.
Today. I got a lot of old articles.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's working for anybody. I think he's just a guy that likes Trump.
He's endorsing Trump, is my point.
Yeah. You can say that.
And, okay.
Duh.
So
you had me look up that? Yeah, he endorses Trump.
Yeah, I know. That's what I see.
What are we talking about here? Jesus Christ. I can't believe you actually
I think we're trying to figure out if he's working for Trump or if he's just endorsing him.
Why is that relevant?
Because it makes a difference when it comes to
your biases.
Like if I just like him and I'm saying good things about him, it don't mean nothing. It just means I like him.
You know what it is?
But if I work for him, that means I'm pushing an agenda.
Right, like what you're doing right now. You're pushing the agenda that Fox wasn't in the wrong for covering up this Illuminati member.
No. What I'm saying is, I've heard Fox News. I've heard them talk about it freely.
You heard?
I've heard Fox freely talk about George Soros all the time.
Yeah, me too.
So that's what I'm saying. When they shut him down, when she shut him down, I'm like, that seems very off of what they usually do. It must be something relevant to the conversation that was happening.
No, it wasn't irrelevant. It was very irrelevant. It was very irrelevant for her to shut him down like that. It was freedom of press. You're in we have, she shut down his First Amendment right to speak about his mind, to speak his mind. She shut that down. Number one.
Well, I mean, it's a private company.
Yeah, but that's the point. There should be no suppression of our First Amendment rights.
But it's a private company. They don't have to abide by that.
You know, my problem is that when I see videos like that,
Private companies don't have to abide by that.
They don't have to abide by the Constitution in our country?
They don't have to abide by freedom of speech.
They don't have to abide by what?
Freedom of speech.
Why not?
Because that's not their. They're private. They're private. If they don't want you saying something, they can keep you off for saying it.
Okay. Even if let's say that's the case. Right?
It is the case.
Okay, even if that is the case.
Actually, most companies adopt the at-will employee, which basically means that they could terminate you at will, with or without prior notification or warning. Most companies companies.
I was going to say.
Most companies adopt that philosophy. Some companies go further and have you sign like a non-compete disclosure agreement where you can't discuss certain things.
You can't disclose
information,
classified information,
clients,
whatever.
business practices, ideas or trades. You can't discuss or opinionate on any of those things. But when you're in the confines of your own business within your own property, as long as you're not violating those individuals' constitutional rights, like to live and to, you're not harming them or oppressing them, you can do whatever you want. It's your company.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that person can sue your ass. So be careful how far you take that.
Okay, but the biggest part that occurred, why the internet blew up and got crazy over that situation, my point is that, because, Trump supporters voted for Trump because of his stance on globalism. And to get shut down because of having to tiptoe around a globalist from a station, a news station that is supposedly supportive of Trump, that was crazy, because then afterwards Trump started calling them fake news again. Did you hear that? Trump started calling Fox News fake news again.
Yeah. But he goes,
I mean, I think like anybody, they're gonna bash anyone who's not with him. You know what I mean? Like, that's not shocking to me that he would bash them if you felt like you're back against the wall. You know what I mean? Like, that's not news to me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's not my point. I'm just telling you
if Fox flipped the script, if Fox flipped the script on whether they support Trump or not, the first thing they were looking out for were their wallets.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they were looking for, their wallet.
Yeah, and that's my point. They were looking out, you could tell they were looking out for their wallet, because clearly George Soros is funding them. Hence why we know what is fake news and what's not.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're sitting here and you're really taking the news and the media seriously these days, man, do I have something to tell you.
Wow, we need like a fucking a zinger bell. Look, my point is that if you realize globalism is a threat to our American freedom, then you're awake. You understand, that with just the slightest wrong move could send us, into a truly suppressed country, You know
what bugs me out?
Where we don't have any rights.
You know what bugs me out? That we're discussing these.
You know how hard That would be so difficult for that to happen, though.
Well, we say that, but in all reality, look at how many rights were taken during, in New York City, during a Democratic, takeover of office.
You know how many people I have discussions with both parties, and their response is, I'm not gonna vote for him. He seems creepy. Huh? What?
Yeah, but we're not talking about your. No, I'm just kidding.
That's just alarming. No one's taking a minute to look up what people really doing or saying.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing.
They should.
Wait, who's not doing what?
I wrote it to a lot of individuals, and I'm like, when politics comes to fruition in conversation, I'm like, so why you who you voting for and why? And they're like, oh, I'm not voting for him. He seems creepy. That's what you got? Like, don't get me wrong, maybe he does, but you got nothing else, like what the guy has done, what he's trying to achieve, what's his stance on whatever. No.
I mean, there's funnier people, though, too, like, that are supposedly pro-Trump, but know nothing about his policies. They just think he's the great American hope, or, I don't know.
The great white hope.
The great white hope. Oh, you've been watching Jesse Peterson?
Yeah.
Well, he's mad funny, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he's
too hard.
He goes too hard. He's hyped because he won the Coon Award. But this is a dude that reminds me of the way you be sounded sometimes. I'm gonna be honest.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen this guy. What's this guy's name?
Jesse Peterson, right?
Yeah.
I can't watch his videos.
Bro, that's a dude. I swear, I thought you were watching a lot of his things because of some of the things you were saying. And I'm like,
you know what? When I say things, I don't think you're listening. I think you only hear what you want to hear.
Nah, nigga, I'll be listening.
Because sometimes I'll say something and you'll be like, so you're saying this, and you say something totally different. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like, he could be talking about
like
McDonald's, and then you're like, Olive Garden. What?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what happens. I'll talk about one thing. He'll say, so you're saying is this, and then whatever he just said, he'll go off on that. And it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But we have already gone into whatever he said, whatever he thought I was saying, for about 20, 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I'll be making you look bad.
This is why I'm happy that I was recording.
He's like, Mike, you're a dick.
No, so you ever heard, you know what a straw man is?
A what?
A straw man?
Oh, a strong man.
Straw man. Straw, like a...
Oh,
like
strong man, yeah.
Oh, man.
Couldn't get past. I'm just kidding. No, but I
so
mean,
that's what happens. It's like I'm saying something, you'll build your own straw man when you attack it, and I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. You can attack that all you want. I'm not saying that.
Because he was busy building his strong arm.
Yeah,
is it righty or lefty?
So like what I was saying is this, like, so like an example would be the black and African American thing. I was saying, when I worked in the hospital, I worked with black, American black, Haitian black, Jamaican black, all of them. And in the locker room, the conversation was always, don't call me African American. I'm not African American. I'm black. Don't call me that. I don't like that. So when I talk to them, I say, but why don't you like African American? I'm not African. I'm Haitian, and I'm proud of it. Or I'm Jamaican, and that's why I'm proud of it. I'm not American black.
That's a fact. There's different. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a fact. Like, as far as calling them, right, like, that's what I was trying to
But
say,
see,
too.
but you just saying, you're right now, you're saying, yeah, but just a little while ago you said, but they don't know their roots. They don't know where they're from. They should be called Africans.
Right.
That's what you said last time.
Yeah, because I said those are places that were oppressed and called things like they were named by white people. You get what I'm saying?
I understand that, but they don't think like that. They think this is mine.
Right.
We didn't name Puerto Rico. It was called Puerto Rico.
They don't think
we didn't call it Puerto Rico.
But that was my point as far as why it's oppressive language that we need to change. You know, that we don't even realize we're speaking.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, by you're saying that calling them black is oppressive.
No, I don't understand something. Me, personally, I said if I'm colored, I don't care what anybody of color calls me because they're not my oppressor. You understand? As a person of color, you know, I see them as my brothers and sisters. You know, I see them as family. I see them as
okay. So, what's the term for it? It's called the Olympics of oppression. I might be wrong. Hold on.
What is it called?
I don't think it's called Olympics.
The Olympics of oppression. First of all, that terminology, I hope doesn't exist.
What are you looking for?
Olympics of oppression. Olympics is a characterization of marginalization of competition to determine the relevant. Okay, yes, it is called that. It's called the Oppression Olympics. So basically, it's this.
To see who's more oppressed than the other.
Yeah. It's like I'm more oppressed. So the example would be white women are the most unoppressed in the whole world.
But they're
unless they say, but I'm non-binary. Now they go on the list of oppression. Now they're oppressed. They're part of a group that's oppressed. Why? Because they just said it. That's all. That's all it says. I just said I'm oppressed, and now I'm oppressed. Now I'm part of this pantheon of people that are oppressed. Because now I can walk in your marches. Because I'm oppressed too. Queer lives matter. You know what I'm saying?
Oppression Olympics is the characterization of marginalization as a competition to determine the relative weight of the overall oppression of individuals or groups, often comparing race, gender, socioeconomic status, or disabilities, in order to determine who is worst off and the most oppressed.
Jose, you are a professional Googler, huh?
Girl, I'm doing it, girl. I'm doing it, girl.
First of all, he started off like he was going to teach us something that he knew off the rip, right?
I can barely read.
Yo, you cut Noel off. You said, no, it is this.
Yo, Jose, can you play what I just said back?
Can I just play what you
No,
said?
I get what you're saying. I know what that is.
Because Jose Jose read what it is. I'm explaining what it is. This is two different things.
Right. Exactly. And it said the same thing, basically. You guys. That's why I said Jose's a professional Googler. Because
what I'm saying is people want to put themselves in this group. They try so hard to get in there. I got to be part of the oppressed. You know why? Because I can't be the oppressor.
Yeah.
Whatever I say to get myself out of this
so
group,
look at the way they look at
this group.
Yeah.
I want you to understand something. I recognize the different oppressions of humanity, right? And I think it's wonderful that there are people that are fighting against oppression, period. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. White women in particular, were oppressed, and they did recognize their oppression. And, for example, you got people that, if it wasn't for the women's rights marches, in the 40s, I think it was, 20s, something like that, or very early before civil rights, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
It was right after, I think it was the freedom of slaves. It was right after that.
Right. And the freedom of slavery, right. And then they started marching because, and they started realizing their oppression, so.
They were like, yo, the black man can vote, but the black woman can't?
the white woman can't. Yeah.
The white one, yeah, basically that's what they're saying. They were like, how can they get their rights before us?
Exactly.
So
And that's what the issue was, but at the same time, it's a very, it was a very needed conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's a good thing that they do show up, let's say, to Black Lives Matter marches, or, my biggest pet peeve is when the few people the few people looting and rioting are the ones that are defining the ultimate picture of the statement, which is just stating Black Lives Matter. That's a clause that is inarguable,
Yeah.
And I think if you argue against it, you're the prime reason why, this country is doing terrible.
Yeah. I very rarely do I run into a person that says they disagree with that. I don't think personally, I never run into a person that disagrees with that. That says Black lives don't matter. That people have to be outright racist to say things like that. Right?
Yeah, and I think to an extent, some of the people who are trying to make the argument that all lives matter are also saying Black lives matters too.
Yeah. So the only thing I don't like is when people say when they come out, when I say Black Lives Matter and they say as a recourse, they say all lives matter.
Yeah, but Black Lives Matter is not saying that no one else matters.
No, what it's saying is that right now Black lives really matter because there seems to be an imbalance on how they're being treated versus everyone else. Exactly. And whether those numbers add up or match or are more or less, right now this is what's on the table right now. There's a lot of things on the table, but this is the main course. This is what brought us here. And this is where we want to address. I get that part. You know what I mean? But I don't think that it should be then a fight between Black Lives Matter and someone who's saying all lives matter. I think the all lives matter is saying, yes, but there's a big table here. There's a lot of things on the table here. And I think that, instead of arguing as to which lives matter at this very moment, you know what I mean? Like right now, it's like we need to address the issue at hand.
Yeah, a lot of things were politicized, but when you peel back this onion of politics, the main root of the issue is basically how it's almost legal. It pretty much is legal to still treat Black people or brown people or you know what I'm saying? Anybody that is not white uncivil. It's still we're still being treated as though it's still legal to treat us as though we're not civilians.
I think that's a case to case situation to see what.
No, it's not. I mean, I think ultimately we say case to case, but I think historically it was a problem to the point where it was like it's like the reason why things occurred in history, was because of certain it was a chain effect is what I'm saying. This chain effect caused a lot of people to behave a certain way. For example, the whole, like I was explaining earlier, the lack of identity due to suppression, oppression, of people of color in particular, or Black people in particular, or the Black male in particular.
Yeah, but again, I don't know if you finished watching or you started watching Uncle Tom, it wasn't I don't think it was. If you finished watching it, we could have discussed it now. Oh, we're done. We lost him. That's what happens when you don't pay your phone bill, ladies and gentlemen. You lose the whole thing. What I was gonna say was that when you, I don't think it's the loss of identity, more so the of their history or their culture. I think it was a loss of the family structure, and that's what some of that dives into, as far as what happened to the minorities. It shows that they were prosperous at one point, even with segregation still in effect. But y'all should definitely check it out. I don't know what happened to these fools. I'm gonna cut it here to keep it. You know what I'm saying? But check us out, The Basement. Peace. I'm gonna slap. I'm gonna call back.
Yo.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see it. I don't think I merged the calls. Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh. What the hell happened, nigga? You got crazy and you hung up the phone?
Nigga, I have no idea what happened.
You're going off on a Martin Luther King rant.
That's messed up.
So, like, an example would be like, somebody be like, yo, pick up your pants. Don't walk with your pants down. And they'd be like, oh, you're trying to be white.
Why are you dressing black? Why are you talking white? Right. I know.
Yeah. Like I hate that, yo.
Yeah.
Like the way I see it, it's not color. It's culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you grew up in the hood, you should be saying,
why are you dressing like the black culture?
That sounds crazy. That sounds so crazy.
What is the black culture?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. What is black culture? So, like, and I'll give you an example. That's a good example. When you say hip hop culture is black culture, when you say this culture, that revolves is black, then you start to look at that culture as black. And when you look at that culture, there's a lot of drug deals, there's a lot of talking down to women, a lot of violence, and then people associate that.
Yeah, if you look at the majority of the black culture, it's not that.
No, it's not. But that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't call that black culture. We should just call it hip hop culture.
Right, and I think that's
whether you listen to it and you're Arab, black, Chinese, I don't care what you are. This is the hip hop culture. Are you part of it or not?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what race you are. I don't care what race you are. Same thing, because we don't. One country, people dress up, whatever, the country with the cowboy hats and all that. We don't say white. We say country. Because there's a lot of black people that like that stuff. A lot of Mexicans love that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mexicans wear sombreros all the time,
Yeah, and whether you like it or not, they look fresh when they wear it. You know what I'm saying? Their own way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the hats and the boots, those boots look expensive as hell.
The flatheads.
You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about wearing Kanye's cost $300. Meanwhile, my man has boots that are $5 something. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's just, to me, I don't look at it as Mexican culture. I look at it as just, there's like a Southern culture, like a cowboy, caballero culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't like associating those things with race, because then your mind automatically goes, if A is like this and C is like this, that means C and A must be B. And then you start putting this together, what shouldn't be.
So let me ask you a question. Would you go outside then wearing a sombrero? Would you go outside wearing a sombrero?
I mean, I wouldn't choose to wear it, but if somebody gave me a sombrero and they were like, yo, you want to wear this? I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, it's not my style.
Yeah. Right? It wouldn't really matter.
No, it shouldn't matter.
But people would say what to you in particular?
About the hat?
Yeah. If you were wearing a sombrero as a Puerto Rican male, what would people say to you in particular?
They're freaking asking me why the hell I got a sombrero on. They're freaking holler.
right? Or it
With the
depends
barrel,
on
nigga.
who the person is talking to you. In all reality,
Yeah.
'cause if it's a,
They'll probably ask me if I'm Mexican. That's probably what's out. They'll be like, "Oh, are you Mexican? I didn't know you're Mexican."
who would ask you if you're Mexican?
I don't know, nigga. Anybody would ask me that shit. Someone in a sombrero?
Right? They wouldn't
Whoever
say,
it
"Oh, wow, are you a cowboy?"
Well, sombrero's not a cowboy hat. That's specifically a Mexican thing.
Bro, sombreros look like cowboy hats. Okay,
They
let's
do.
say cowboy. They do, right? Their sombrero looks like a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
But because it's called sombrero, you know, if you said, "Oh, look at my cowboy hat," right? Niggas would still be like, "Nigga, shut up, that's a sombrero."
If I called it a cowboy hat?
I mean, think about it. Puerto Ricans always get defined, they always get called Mexican, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends where you go.
It depends where you go, yeah. You know?
New York, you're not going to get that.
Nah, you crazy? Yeah. No, New York, you're not going to get that unless you're talking to a white person.
Yeah, because they probably don't even know better. I mean, I don't know, yo. There's something about growing up in New York that you recognize races.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, too. I definitely, it's so hard talking about things like, for example, you know, the way we were bringing up the whole black culture and it being, you know, oh, but some of them are Haitian or whatever, right? You know, we recognize that because we're from New York City. But you see how the conversation is disregarding all of that, all those facts. You know? It's disregarding all those facts that we know, like. But that's why I say it's oppressive language. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't understand culture. The oppressive language oppresses and suppresses the culture.
Yeah, but we're talking about a descriptor. We're not talking about like once I find out where you are, that changes everything, right?
If you find out what, yeah, I mean that's what I was trying to say. If we were to talk about our, you know, who we are as an individual, like, oh, my family's from Jamaica, you know what I'm saying, or my family's from Puerto Rico. I think that conversation allows us to identify ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than, oh, I'm brown, or you're black, I'm white. You know what I'm saying? Because that is categorizing ourselves, not identifying ourselves.
No, of course not. But when you're talking about a big group, if you don't know what's in there, you know what I'm saying? So, like, the way it started was because Trump was asking, what do you want me to call you?
Right.
So, I'm assuming there was...
He said, what do you African Americans want me to call you? What do you blacks want me to call you?
Yeah.
To say that was not racist, he said, I want to hear from an African, one of my Africans, he said.
But what is racist about it then?
Hold on. Bro, we just established it's not allowing them to really, truly identify themselves. He's giving them...
We're talking about hundreds of people in there.
Bro, you just said there's African, there's Haitian, there's Jamaican. To claim all these people are African Americans and black, and then giving them the only two options to be called either African or black.
You know,
you
could say whatever you want, but when you put Obama's record against Trump's record as far as doing stuff for blacks,
on, bro. Come on, that was way far. That was, bro. Wait.
And when we talk, hold on. And here's the crazy part. And when we talk about this either helping or hurting Trump, hold on. When we talk about this hurting Trump, it goes, look, already Arizona Central. Trump's "Don't be afraid of COVID" tweet may be the most irresponsible one in history. Bro, this is gonna murder him. There's no way this was.
I don't think so.
I think this is gonna.
I disagree.
I think that's
Wait. Where are you getting that news from? What news reporter said that?
this
The
is,
liberal media.
this is the Arizona Central, okay?
Arizona.
Central website.
Arizona Central. Who listens to the Arizona Central here?
Arizonians.
Native Americans.
Yeah, not even Native Americans. They don't even. That's white man news.
They don't even vote.
Yeah, no, we don't vote.
The Native Americans don't vote.
Yeah, I'm native, nigga.
Yeah, you said before you're American, remember?
Matter of fact, recognizing, like, when I look at my grandparents, and I see, like, my native roots, I see my African roots, you know what I'm saying? I see my Spaniard roots. I can take pride in those things, I can take pride in those things,
Yeah, but just because you said that, let's give it an example to today.
Yeah.
If Trump was talking to Spanish people, he would say, "What do you want me to call you? Mexican, Hispanic, Latino? What do you guys want me to call you?"
I'm already enjoying this.
He's like, "What do you brownies want me to call you?"
But that's not how he said it, though. You're putting words in his mouth. He didn't say.
Bro, he said, "What are you black? What are you African American?" He gave them two options. He didn't.
Just like I'm asking you right now. I'm giving you three options.
But that's my point about the ignorance. Some people have. As far as not realizing, for example, not realizing that there are how many Spanish countries,
Yeah, but let's imagine you're talking to an audience of all white people, okay? That's all you see is white people. Are you gonna call them by each one of their race? My Germans, my freaking Irish, my Italian, my whatever, my Dutch, my freaking Norwegians. You're not gonna do all that. You're gonna be like these white people.
I think my American people. I would have said just the American people. See.
Yeah, but if you're specifically talking to the white people in that group,
if I'm specifically talking to the white people in that group,
yeah, let's just say there's a mix of people. You're specifically
and
white
asking
people.
the white people, what do I want them to call Americans?
Yeah.
What do you want me to call you? White people. You tell me. What do you want? Not realizing there are people who are white that are not American.
I didn't say you didn't realize it. I'm just asking you, what do you expect the people, like, this group
What I'm saying is,
people,
I wouldn't be asking such an ignorant question. Okay? How about that?
But what I'm telling you is this. When I hang out with black people, this is the conversation they say. I don't want to be called African American. I want to be called black. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I've heard from their mouths specifically. They don't like African American. The black people.
The black people? What black people?
The Jamaicans, the Haitians, the Americans, they all say the same thing. Only black.
Right? Certain black people. But there are black people that call themselves black because of, them being oppressed here in America for countless years. Like, for example, I've met people who are who are known descendants of slaves, They know
all of them are. Almost all of them are.
No, not all of them are. People from Africa, there are people that come here from Africa their lineage was never enslaved.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so even then, so some of the guys are from Africa. It's like one of them, he calls himself, I'll never forget it, because of my last name. He said in his tribe, they call him Mango Soto. Right? You heard that, Jose?
What?
You heard that, Jose? They call him Mango Soto.
Who?
One of the African guys when I worked in the hospital.
They call Trump Mango Soto.
No. He called himself Mango Soto.
Okay.
He said in his tribe, that's what they call him. He goes to Africa.
Okay.
You thought he was talking about Trump called himself that?
Yeah. So the guy. So every time he used to walk in the locker room, we used to call him Chief Mango Soto. That wasn't his name.
Bro, he probably made y'all all call him Chief Biggest Penis.
He used to, No, but he used to call. Sometimes he would call us that. I don't know what that word means, honestly. But he used to call us that sometimes.
If somebody knows, please let us know what it means.
I know. I don't know. I have no idea what that means. I don't even remember what tribe he's from. All I remember is that he told me it took 13 hours to get there.
You've had Google Translate this whole time.
But I would have to know what language.
Yeah, I don't even know what language that is. How do you spell that?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what you even said.
So he didn't like American black. He liked to be called whatever. I forgot what tribe he was from. But then I said, but as a group, he's black. Right? We're all black. When we talk like we're talking about us here, this is right before Trump was elected too. So there was a lot of these conversations in the locker room. So when they talk about the black vote, talk about us.
I'm definitely
right?
not looking at the right thing.
Talk about us, the black vote. Right. We are the black vote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on.
So that they will refer to themselves like that. Because it encompasses a lot. It's like an umbrella term. Obviously, you have individual groups within that, but to refer to all of us together is this umbrella group.
Right, because we all know, as far as the white man, we fall under the category of black.
Within each other, we're the same way, right?
Yo, you want to hear me? Let me tell you something that I've been noticing since I started growing my hair. I've never grown my hair in my life. Like, my hair, this is the longest it's ever been in my life, right? But I grew it. I'm like, I was curious. Do I have straight hair, curly hair, kinky hair? I didn't know what it was, because when I cut it short, it looked like it could be, straight. It could be curly. It could be kinky. You know what I'm saying? My hair was so diverse looking. I just didn't know. I thought I was gonna have white people hair, or I don't know what I was gonna have, right? But since I started,
when you say white people, what do you mean? Like Irish, Italian? What do you mean by white people?
Nice. I get real ignorant with it. No. Like, it was a joke. Look, I thought I was gonna have straight hair. I thought I was gonna have curly hair. I didn't know what to think, is what I'm saying. Now, when I finally started growing my hair, right, I go to the restaurant. You know what question I get that is new to me, that I've never gotten before in my life?
When are you going to get a haircut? Yeah.
No. I got really curly hair. Got really, really curly hair, right? Really curly, almost kinky hair. Really, it's borderline black, borderline Native American hair, right? I get now the question, which I've never gotten before. Do you want hot sauce with that? How many times we've been out to eat and they've asked me if I want hot sauce? When the hell have I ever gotten, do you want hot sauce with that? Ever. A few different restaurants, or I've been getting that question. Do you want hot sauce? And then she looks at my wife and almost looks like she's telling her, I'm asking him, and then looks at my hair, like, that's why I'm asking him if he wants hot sauce. It was like, there's so many different things that I've come to realize.
Sir, I think you might have left your sombrero at home by accident, sir.
Yo, it's like they don't want. I don't know.
So you're saying they social experimented you, the social dilemma you.
No.
They said, hey, I'm gonna take these. I'm gonna look at this person and I'm gonna make a stereotype. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
And I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna guess.
You want the chicken. And you want the hot sauce.
Bro, I ordered breakfast. I ordered pancakes. I ordered fucking eggs, bacon, hash brown, rye bread with butter on it. Where on any of those dishes do you put hot sauce?
The eggs.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
I know niggas like that. I don't like it.
Bro, my
Niggas
eggs
like
were over easy. Why would I put hot sauce on my over easy eggs?
Nigga, I don't know. People
Maybe
like
if they has a salsicha in it, you know what I mean? You make the spice it up the salsicha.
No, because
I can't stand salchicha, yo. I think it's so nasty.
typically, if you notice,
You don't like the sausage.
a lot of
puppy.
black people love hot sauce on their eggs.
Only if it's spicy.
I think if you put ketchup on eggs, you're just a special breed.
No,
Okay,
some niggas like it.
Yeah.
When they ask me
Okay,
salt,
wait.
pepper, ketchup, no.
White niggas like that shit, yo.
I love. And listen, if I got scrambled eggs, my scrambled eggs better have ketchup on them.
Yo, you a
God,
nasty.
that sounds
I knew it. I knew you were nasty nigga, son. I knew it.
Yo, I will eat white rice.
That reminds me of Yui. Yui used to do that. Remember Yui? That nigga used to put ketchup on rice. That nigga, oh my gosh. I'm like, yo, get out of here.
Yo,
But I don't put it on everything. I use ketchup very seldom. I literally barely use ketchup.
he said I use ketchup.
I never. Yeah, I don't even put ketchup on my fries. Like I never eat French fries with ketchup on it.
On it, but you dip it.
That's like. I'm a dipper. All right. If
you dip into ketchup, will you dip eggs into ketchup?
No. On my eggs, that needs to be mixed in there. Like,
ew, that's like a paste. That's paste. You might as well just have paste.
I'm not drowning my eggs in ketchup. I'm putting a little bit of ketchup to turn those eggs into heaven on earth.
Yo, what is it? Is it a Salvadorian or no, Ecuadorian? They like peanut butter in a lot of their food.
Yeah, and that's them. I don't do that. You know, that's their condiment of choice. You know.
And then you go to a restaurant, there's a peanut butter in the middle of the table.
Hold on, but
yo, let me get a little peanut butter on that bagel. Let me get everything with peanut butter on it.
The Thai culture loves a lot of peanuts in their food too.
What culture?
The Thai people.
Oh yeah, they like peanuts. Yeah, they like nuts in their food.
They like nuts in their food.
Yo, my wife knows I'm full Puerto Rican, right?
I hope
But
so.
she
By
sent
now,
me-
she's having your baby. I hope she knows what race you are.
Hold on, let me go check. Babe, what race am I? No, I'm just kidding. So look, I am full Puerto Rican, right? She's Mexican.
Why was there hesitation?
Because she's Mexican, she got Puerto Rican, she got Italian, right? If we go down that route. Now, it's just like a completely different world, right? But at the end of the day, we both know we have Native American in us, and I think that's what both her and I take most pride in, is our Native roots, right? And that's what really, makes us feel together, right? That's our culture, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just our track of thought.
Native what?
Our Native roots. Our Native American roots is what, really, makes us feel this commonality, because of what I know. Like, for example, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but she's born out here in Ohio. And no matter how far apart we were, we had a lot of the same struggles. You understand? Like, for example, like you guys and I, we're Puerto Rican. We know the struggles amongst Puerto Ricans that are common, right? Or, it's like you recognize things like, I want to say you have to go through because of, let's say, your last name, or just little things that you just, we realize how much we have in common. And I think when, amongst us, it's okay to talk a certain way, to behave a certain way, None of us are oppressing one another, right? None of us are like, claiming superiority in this conversation. And that's my biggest argument is I think the philosophy, when you recognize white philosophy, you understand the importance of I want to say preserving your identity as a person of color. You understand? And that's my message.
I understand what you're saying, but practically speaking, I don't function like that.
I know.
On a day-to-day basis.
It's a question. I get it.
I don't. It's not pride, but on a day-to-day basis, I look at myself above white people.
But you see what I'm saying? That philosophy given to you by white oppressors. To say one is above the other is a white philosophical track of thought.
But that's what you've been saying for the past hour.
What did I say?
You're saying, remember, we were just talking about the oppression Olympics, that you're oppressed and they're higher. They're the oppressor.
No, I said
we're the oppressed.
I'm totally for oppression Olympics because I think it's wonderful when everyone is coming together to fight all kinds of oppression.
Yeah, but that's not what the oppression Olympics is, right?
The oppression Olympics is I get where the side of what you're saying as far as those who are saying, oh, I was oppressed more, or I was oppressed more. No, I was oppressed more. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that also in the nutshell, we're all fighting against oppression. We're all the oppressed fighting against oppression, and we recognize our oppression.
Yes.
Yeah, but
everybody has an individual, right? Everybody has their own individual oppression that they're struggling with, right? I think most of us deal with financial oppression, some racism for sure.
Right.
Even though nowadays that kind of oppression is more rare, especially in New York. I think New York is very diverse. You don't got to deal with that crap as much.
That's not true. I remember going for a job interview in New York City and getting turned down because of. I remember the guy literally telling me, "Yo, man, I loved your resume. Just telling me all things about my resume and how he loved it." And then he goes, "Okay, let's go look back at your resume." He looks at my resume and says, "Rodriguez," and goes, Right, and I was like, and then he goes on to offer me a busboy position in his establishment, right? Even though I was qualified to work as a barista, which I applied for because of my experience as a barista at the time, right? I was a kid at that time. So
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. We can all give examples. What I'm saying is that it's not in your face everywhere all the time.
No, that was
because when it happens, we remember it. Oh, snap! It hits you. You know what I'm saying? But it's so. How often does that? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, New York is very. In New York, the garage. I mean, at least where I'm working at now, we have a bunch of white people that come here to work from out of town, and there's never. Bro, I went to Staten Island. All white people, all of them. Every time we go there as a group, it's only black and Spanish that go over there.
But remember, New York City is, with the exception because of the amount of people of color, that are there. Like, for example, Italians, are people of color.
Don't
Irish
tell them
are
that.
people of color. Yeah, they're people of color. They're.
Are they white?
No, they're considered Latin. They're considered Latin. They're Latin speaking individuals. They're not looked at as white by the white oppressors. No, they're not.
So then who the hell's white?
Yeah, who the hell is
Who
white?
the hell is white? Oh, yes, that's a great topic we should touch up on. Who the hell is white? Because that was my, you know, what I was telling you from the get is that whole oppressive philosophy. It's a philosophy. There's, in all reality, white, to say you're white is a philosophy. It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It's a philosophy. It's a philosophical way of living, which says, "Oh, I'm above." You understand? To claim you are white is to say, you know, is to say you agree with what being white means. Right? Privileged. To be, you know, privileged is one of the words they love to throw around, right? Privilege. White privilege. Right? They don't see the privileges
White
we have.
immigrants white immigrants were always considered white. Italian, Greeks, Poles, Hungarians, Slavians, and other European groups had to overcome prejudice over many years. But that's what one article saying. Who is white America? It's complicated. Futuricity.com. What is the white culture exactly? Whiteness is hard to define, but apparently it involves lots of vegetables, alcohol, and arts.
Yeah, like, for example, people who claim to be white eat shit like parsnips. What the fuck is a parsnip? Like Dave Chappelle said, what the fuck is the parsnip? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Obviously, there are people beyond white who eat parsnips.
I don't even know where they come from.
I don't know who.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it looks like.
Right. What the fuck is a parsnip? It's like rutabaga. Who the fuck eats a rutabaga?
That's another thing I don't know.
That's another one. I mean, come on. We can go down this list of
But we know white
people. White supremacy food.
They're holding out. They're holding out on the good shit. Is that what's happening right now? They're holding out on us. Is that what it is? They're holding out on the parsnip.
Yes, that's very healthy.
There you go. It's a conspiracy.
The conspiracy.
There's again. There's no way. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see this helping. I see the wine. I don't see this helping this dude. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's only 30 days out. Think about how crazy that is.
This nigga brought it back to Trump?
He brought it back to Trump. He loves to bring it back to Trump.
It's
Great White Hope.
It's the Great White Hope. It's a conversation that some people say that they want to avoid.
He's holding up a sign that says "Liberals for Trump."
Liberals for Trump. I would be the worst. The worst.
You know what it is? Because liberalism got associated with Democrats. That's why.
The words are too similar.
It shouldn't be. Liberals is like freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
but somehow that got Democrat. I don't know how, because they were anti that. Surprise. That was weird, but.
Yeah, because they were technically libertarian. I mean, they were anti-libertarian. Or, I don't know. Never mind. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Well, the Democrats were pro-slavery. They were
pro-authoritarian.
They were on the opposition of liberalism.
Yeah, they were pro-authoritarian.
Yeah, and then somehow, I don't know where this came from, where things started getting switched and run about. But then if you like, that's fine, you can call yourself that, but let's look at your policies and see how that works. You know, so then when you start looking at the policies, you're like, okay, not much has changed since back then to now. You still want to stop people from doing stuff when the the real liberals want to give people freedom to do stuff. They don't want to stop anybody. Do whatever you want, as long as you're going to hurt me.
Right.
You can wave your arms and flail them as much as you want. Just don't hit me when you do it.
So let me ask you a question. You, for example, you and your wife, right? All right. Do you guys relate more because of the black side or because both the Puerto Rican side?
Puerto Rican.
Right?
I take pride in what my people have built. That's what I find my pride. Well, we come from these different mixes of different places, of being freaking raped and robbed and freaking enslaved and, treated harshly. And still, we've built this beautiful culture where we probably have, in the top 100 selling artists in the world, Puerto Rico, I think, has the most out of any other country in the world.
As far as what goes? What kind of artists?
The musical artists. I just saw it the other day. Of the top 100 most played artists in the world, Puerto Rico holds the most artists.
I'll let you boot.
Yeah. So I take pride that we love what we have. We love our ocean. We love our sandy beaches. We love our people. We love our music, the way we talk, the way we move. We take pride in ourselves.
Yeah.
Nothing else. If the world didn't exist, it wouldn't matter to us because we are what we are. We carry it in our blood.
Talk your shit, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't find the way. That's all what I'm saying. When I talk to another person, I find very close relations to people that when they speak Spanish to me, it's like I love speaking Spanish to somebody. Spanish is the language of my oppressor. But I took that language and I said, I'm going to give it some flavor, and when I talk it, it's going to sound different than the way you talk it.
And it's mine.
There's no vosotros here, only nosotros.
So you're saying that blacks in the history of slavery can do the same thing.
What?
You're saying that slavery in that same scenario, that you could take something that was negative and you could turn it into something positive by heeding the opportunity you have now available to you.
Well, it's not really that. It's what you've built from that point.
Right. Me and my wife
is what we've done.
About that very
We've been holding it together right here doing this.
Yeah. Like, for example, like my wife, like I said, she's Mexican, right? But Mexico, they don't talk like, vosotros, they don't add the TH and everything, and, the same way like Spaniards do, We had come together in our societies and created our own dialect of Spanish, Unfortunately, I think it's unfortunate, that we have to call it Spanish,
Well, I mean, that's what it is.
It's the way it is, yeah. But, I don't mind it, because we know, for example, if I'm talking in a certain dialect, they understand I'm speaking in a different dialect. Like, I'm speaking Puerto Rican Spanish.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool because, we have the understanding of, oh man, that sounds mad Mexican. Like, you're Mexican, right? Like, I can tell Mexican Spanish from...
Oh, yeah, from Dominican.
Right.
As soon as the first three sentences that a Dominican says, I already know he's Dominican.
Yeah.
As soon as they start talking, I'm like, yep, Dominican.
Yeah, word. Sometimes they don't even need to talk.
But and those niggas are proud of where they're at. They love their country. They love their music. Their bachata. I like bachata. If you look at my playlist, I put all the Spanish music I like. A lot of it is bachata. I love bachata.
Right.
But in the same way, you got all these other places that are proud of what they have.
Exactly.
Especially if they built it themselves. They're like, I didn't get no outside help. I did this shit myself. In fact, they were oppressing me and I still built it.
Yeah, we did it. As collectively, yeah.
And this is why I was telling. This is why I said it. I said it before. I'm gonna keep saying it. When I retire, I want to move to Puerto Rico because I want to give back. I want to save my retirement money, my taxes, the rent I'm gonna pay, the electricity bill I'm gonna pay.
Whoa! I ain't saying all that now. I'm only kidding.
I want to go out there. I want to give back. So I'm proud. That's what I'm proud of the most. That heritage that we carry to this day in New York. That we built our own little Puerto Rico over here. You know what I'm saying? We got our own version of Puerto Rico here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I find my pride in that.
Right.
And I look back and I look back at the native.
Yourself as a Puerto Rican, you know, you see your identity in that. You know, you don't see your identity in just two choices.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a citizen of America, and because of that, I'm American.
Yeah, but
if America was to say we're getting rid of Puerto Rico, they're gonna stop. This is your last chance. You go to Puerto Rico and you get rid of your American citizenship, I'll probably be out.
Yeah, that's
it'll be rough. We be living poor. I'll take all this stuff with me, but we're gonna be poor, and we have to figure it out. We're gonna have to start living in the huts again. But I'm going back over there. And it's crazy. I'm saying it now. When it hits the fan, and my wife is gonna be like, "Well, we can't do that, you know, because financially we got 4 kids." Blah, blah, blah. So I don't, you know what I'm saying. But what my heart desires is to go back. Because every time I go to visit Puerto Rico, I love it. I love talking to people. I love going places and listening to the music and seeing the people move around. I love looking at Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has the best rum in the world. I think it has the most rum distilleries in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of what our people built.
You know, we don't think nowadays, like when people hear rum, you know, they don't think I think only a little kid would think of a pirate.
Yeah. But even then, like the pirates were for the Caribbean, which is where Puerto Rico is at.
That's a fact, my nigga.
You know what I'm saying? So all that, this is all us. You know, that's why, okay, so you listen to music. J Balvin got a song, damn, yo. Did you watch Trolls 2?
Yeah, of course.
You know that reggaeton song they play?
Yeah, with Bad Bunny.
Okay, so that song is J Balvin, and it's the producer is Willie Williams. Willie Williams is actually, I think, if I may be wrong, he's either French or Haitian. I think he's Haitian.
I don't know if this kid knows. You got to be careful when you.
So Willie Williams, he does a lot of music in Creole.
Right.
And then you have Puerto Rico has a lot of influence from Jamaican music, right? Remember in General?
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Okay. And then we also have, there's a few Puerto Rican reggaeton songs that have artists that are from Brazil, that they speak Portuguese while you rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, we're all together the same. We're Puerto Rican, and then we're Caribbean, and then we're Latino. You know what I'm saying? Or you might want to say Hispanic and Latino, because they're kind of there's only 1 or 2 differences between each.
Yeah. I always tell people like I'll say Caribbean too. Like I'll identify myself as Caribbean.
Yeah, and I say it here all the time. When I talk to these guys, some of these guys, there's a Mexican guy over here or a Cuban guy, whatever. I'm like, there's a difference between Caribbean Spanish and American Spanish. American, I look at it like South America, Central America, North America. Like Americans, like landmass. We talk different. We got different kinds of food. You know what I'm saying? We have different music. We're just different people, you know? You know what I'm saying? We move differently. But at the end of the day, those are my brothers. Latinos, we stick together, we speak Spanish. It is what it is. And if whatever is bad for them is bad for me, whatever's good for them should be good for me. Again, but we're citizens of America too. So we also got to look at that. So there's different ways to look at things. You got to look at the different angles and figure out what's the best fit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not living in Puerto Rico right now. I'm living in America. So as much as I want Puerto Rico to prosper, I have to watch my back. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure whatever's good around me is good because this is where my kids are at.
I mean, it's like that anywhere, though. You know, there's people that are just out to catch, you know, somebody slipping or, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But that's what I'm saying. I want Puerto Rico to be independent because it's better for Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Selfishly, some people want it to be part of America because to them, they're like, America is the great white hope, like we were joking around about. and they're gonna help us. America ain't helping nobody, son. And I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times. So, and it's gonna sound racist, and I don't care. White people are not gonna help us. They're not. They're not gonna help us. They don't want to help us. They don't care to help us. They're gonna move their mouth a lot, and that's where it's gonna stop.
In many ways, they feel like us giving you freedom and slavery and the right to vote is a way of helping you. We gave you a little bit too much at this point.
Right. Okay, that's as far as they're gonna go. We're gonna make you, as far as your quote unquote rights are concerned, we're gonna match you up with us. Now you're on your own, son.
Yeah,
Good luck.
figure it out.
Peace. Figure it out. You want to get an education? We ain't helping you. You get on your own, kid. Good luck.
Let me know how it turns out.
I hope your poor crackhead, mom is gonna help you. Good luck. I'm gonna respect.
Yo, don't be calling my mom up now.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, whose fault is it that my father, went to jail? My father was in jail my whole life. He came out like 3 or 4 times my whole life. I mean, he's out now. He's an older guy, so he's chilling now. But you know what I'm saying? He tried to kill somebody. My father stabbed somebody 41 times and went to jail for 7 years for attempted murder. 41 times he stabbed this guy, right? My whole childhood he was gone. He came out, went back in for drugs, like within a year, whatever, right? My mom died of a drug overdose. I didn't give her those drugs. I don't think freaking Trump gave her those drugs, or freaking Bush, or whoever Clinton, whoever was president back then. As far as I know, my grandfather.
I'm like, no, they definitely did give her the drugs. They poured those drugs.
No, but I'm saying the person that put it in her hand probably looked like her.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time when I talk to the young kids. You have the power to break that chain in your hand. All you got to do is don't pass those drugs over, and the chain is broken. But you don't want to do that because you're trying to get this bread, son.
That's why Barbara Bush was really supported. Not Barbara Bush. Who was it? Was it Barbara Bush?
I think it was. Yeah. Say no to drugs.
Yeah, say no to drugs. I think that was something that was very supported. It's like, just say no.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they do things to quote unquote help us that destroy us. Right. And that's why I say, just stay out my way, son. Stay out my way. Let me handle my people. You stay over there. Don't say you're gonna take away the drugs, because all you're gonna do is put my people in jail. Stay away. Yeah. You do your thing. You deal with your white stuff. I'm gonna deal with this stuff over here. Let me teach my kids. Let me talk to my kids my damn self. I don't care what drugs are on the street. I'm gonna teach my kids.
Doesn't this go back to what I was saying before about religion and how different religions should have a say on the people in their religion?
Yes, but we live in America, right?
But
we still live in the United. That's why I keep saying it. We can't forget that at the end of the day, as much as I'm telling these white people to go over there, at the end of the day, we still together. We still got to work this out together. We have no choice.
Yeah, and just like, for example, when I say Christians should work out things with Christians, there's always going to be somebody who claims to be Christian that's not really Christian. And
not only that, if a terrorist goes to blow up a building, you're going to put him in trial with a Muslim judge and the Muslim lawyer that follows Sharia law. They're going to say not guilty. Oh, you were killing heretics? Not guilty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, the Christians are like, he was killing them. What do you mean not guilty? So we have to come to an agreement of what laws are going to work together, whether I like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether I like it or not. If we're both going to agree to this, then we both have to abide by it. That means if you break that law, you go to jail. If I break it, I'll go to jail. But we have to agree to it. Now, when you get to the point where you got cops that are doing some wild stuff, that are clearly beating somebody for no reason, that cop needs to get in trouble.
Right.
But now if it comes to find out later, the guy tried to pull a gun out on the cop, and now I know why the cop hit him. Now it's his fault. Why you try to pull out a gun to the cop? You're supposed to follow the same law he's following. Are we in this together or not?
One of the arguments
I because if it's not, then we might as well start building walls around neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? But we have to do this together. You know what I'm saying? So if the cop's gonna do something wrong, he should pay the price. But if you find out that it's not the cop, that it's the freaking Puerto Rican guy that decided he's gonna punch the cop in the face, you wildin'. What do you expect's gonna happen if you punch a cop? He's gonna punch you back, son. And not only that, his badge gives him extra freaking thing. So I'll give you an example. If somebody was to punch me, it doesn't matter. They punch me, we fight, right? Now, if I'm wearing my uniform and my badge and they punch me, it's a federal crime.
Right.
Right? So that badge does give you some
Sort of. Right.
some sort of, and you kind of need that because at the end of the day, if somebody's breaking into your house and you call the cops and you're hiding in the bathroom, the cop shoots them, you don't want the cop to go to jail for saving you, right? So you kind of got to give and take, and you got to figure out where the nuance in the situation is. You know what I'm saying? If the cop busts the door open and you start shooting, that cop is wrong. But if the cop opens the door, it's like, yo, the police, step out, and then the guy shoots the cop, and the cop, you have to go by case. You got to look at what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm all for black empowerment, Puerto Rican empowerment, Latino pride, brown pride, whatever you want to call it. I don't even care what you call it. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
As long as it's us doing it. I don't want these white people standing in the front line screaming out Black Lives Matter, breaking store windows, and then when the cops show up, the white people disappear, and guess who's holding the gun? Us, like idiots, because they left. White people left us behind. They started it. The cops don't care. All they see is a broken window and a white guy and a black guy standing there with a rock.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Just stay away, yo. I understand you want to support us, Black Lives Matter. I get it. Do it online, son. You know what I'm saying? If you support us, talk to your freaking senator. Have him pass those laws. Don't stand out in the street with us.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start throwing rocks and the cops show up, you want to run away.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that kid that shot those guys. The back and front, the whole situation was all white people. Not one black person, Spanish person was involved in the situation at all. All white people. But you know what gets attached to it? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter had a riot, and then there was a shootout, and white supremacists came to shoot. All this is happening because white people started to do some wild shit by themselves.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with us. All of a sudden, our names on it. What?
To define it as a left-wing movement or a right-wing movement was racist too, as well. Like to say it was racist because they made it seem like everybody outside in them streets were Democrats.
Yeah. It's like, yo, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is a quote-unquote liberal. He says he's left-leaning. And every time I hear him talk about he's pro-abortion, he's pro-gay marriage, he's pro-this, but he also is pro-Second Amendment. Right? So he's like, because of that one little thing, automatically they call me right-wing. Because I support the Second Amendment. Because I like to hunt for my food. He kills deer and he eats it. Yeah. So now he's right-wing. I like to fight. I'm a cage fighter. I'm right-wing now, all of a sudden.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Becomes very right-wing, for sure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, just because you support the Second Amendment doesn't mean you're right-wing. It just means you support liberal rights.
He even went as far as saying he'd vote for Trump over Biden.
Nigga, who wouldn't at this point?
But you said
some people don't.
But there are people. Yeah, exactly. You know, if you're truly a right-wing person, that's why I like watching Joe Rogan, because of his, in all reality, he has a very non-biased perspective. Very non-biased.
But also, mind you, he
had
Bernie Sanders on. He said he was going to vote for Bernie Sanders originally.
Right. Yeah.
And then the Democrats, they finagled the situation and they forced Biden in. Yeah. Just like they did with Hillary. It should have went to freaking Bernie.
Sure.
It should have went to Bernie. And what they did, they finagled the situation, and what they got the L because of that. And that's what's probably going to happen now.
Yeah, but Bernie
you really think that Sanders was going to be... You think Sanders would have been better in that debate?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a fact.
I think so.
You said it like it hurt.
Yeah. I think Bernie Sanders had a good chance.
Yeah.
Hillary lost by a landslide, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hillary lost by a lot of points.
Yeah.
I think Bernie would have came closer, if not won. But he would have came a lot closer than Hillary. Because Bernie was saying that people want. Yo, I don't understand why we don't have... It's either one or the other. Either we all buy our own medical insurance, or we all pay into it together. But you can't have a mix, because there's going to be people taking advantage of the system. Right? Somebody's going to be like, I have money, but instead of buying it, I'm going to get it from the government. So you can't have that. Either you pay for it yourself or the government's going to provide it. As far as I'm concerned, I think we're at a place now where the government can provide a lot of the medical expenses. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why we haven't done it yet. It seems retarded to me. At this 2020, why don't we have some sort of universal Medicaid or something like that?
Yeah, when
You know
the major cities, the most populated the most popular cities have Medicaid and their own government or local government funded health care for those individuals who make a certain amount of money. So if the biggest cities have it, then what is it going to? How much more is it really going to cost to get the rest of the nation on board for a borderline? A borderline. Now, if you want to go above that, and get a premium package with something else, that's your business.
That's your business. I totally get that. Yep. Everybody gets basic. Everybody gets
the
everybody
teeth.
gets the
You get your
net.
eyes. You check your feet. They check your bunghole. Get out of here. Next. If you want to go above that and check your under your nails and you want to go and check what's this little thing here, and you know what I mean, like basic health. You live in your heart rate. You know what I mean. The yearly physical, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
All that should be covered.
Your vaccines, the vaccines that require you to be in public, you know what I mean? Like those should be readily
the mark of the beast. All that stuff should be free.
All that, or the chip. Put the chip right in.
Put the chip in your freaking skin. Free of charge. I don't understand why we don't have that. Now, if I was to say that to somebody that is a Republican, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a freaking libtard. Who's gonna pay for it? Me? I'm working my taxes." That's what they're gonna say.
I'd be like, "Bitch, you already paid for it. But you already paid for it, you idiot. It's coming out of your taxes, you dumbass."
Yeah, which I totally get it. But the reason why our taxes are so high is because we're paying all these people in government to do nothing. That's why I say shrink the government, and there'll be more money available for everybody else. Get rid of. There's some of these offices we don't need. That all these bullcrap.
When the mayor
we don't need them niggas, yeah?
The mayor furloughed the city employees in his office or whatever. It was like what was it? Like $1 million or $3 million for one day. That he said.
Oh yeah. It was like a week or something like that. $1 million in a week.
That's a
lot. It was 5 days. Remember?
Yeah, it was 5 days.
What was it? 100 employees? 100 employees, right?
It's something like that. It was ridiculous. It was like you just saved how much?
You're telling me that you paid 100 employees from New York City $1 million,
and nothing's gonna happen if they're gone. No one died. No one's hungry.
Nope, nothing went undone.
Nothing.
We didn't skip a beat. These 100 people, their job is irrelevant.
And again, we're not talking to the 100 people. Sure, those 100 people need jobs, of course. And apparently, their job doesn't really do much for the people who live here. Apparently, we're not talking about but we get it. Its job is a job, but at the same time, it's like, come on. And then you want to go and send the cops to give tickets to people who don't have masks. Go into restaurants right now, bro. Go into restaurants and harass them. You know what I mean?
So it should be our own business.
I have this idea that if I were to, let's say, run for president, if I were to run for president,
I'll vote for you.
I'm thinking of a 4-year. I'm thinking of a 4-year recalibration of our economic system plan. A plan that would recalibrate the economy here in America, where all the funds, every piece of asset would be redistributed amongst the American people. And from there, each person can truly figure out what they want to do with their money. And I think...
like universal basic income?
No, I'm talking about take everybody's money, basically, and redistributing
socialism
it equally amongst...
Yes,
No. Hold on. I'm talking about a recalibration.
Of economic
of our
socialism. Gotcha.
No, as socialism, I wouldn't be talking in the sense of capitalism. You know, socialism is saying, almost like allowance, and, you know, I'm talking about a recalibration of our capitalist society. I think the only way to truly recalibrate and equalize our society as a capitalist nation is to redistribute funds across the board equally.
So you mean?
Yeah, but are you talking about universal basic income?
You mean to tell me that the five guys that built the franchise by scratch, selling burgers and fries, you mean to tell me that the hard-earned money of opening up a store and then another one and then another one and then turning it into a franchise,
they'll have the money.
You're telling me that those five guys, they should take all their worth, net everything, and distribute it evenly to everyone else? To the bum who's on the street, who had an opportunity to make something of himself, but decided to just, and not all bums are, like that.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I mean? Not everyone...
What if the redistribution actually meant that they get more money than they've ever made in the years they've been open?
But then what's the incentive of me going hard and building a franchise and building a business? And what's the point? Why? If you're just going to give it to me anyways? Why should I go hard when the next person isn't?
Well, because we're in a technological era where, I think everybody should receive, a form of payment that should be either in your right hand or your forehead, specifically because if you think about it, it's much easier to pay with. It's easier to.
I like this idea.
It's easier to pay
either
with
your thumbprint or a face scan.
We can do that. I like that idea.
You saw that the Amazon stores, they do a bio scan with your hand now to pay?
I don't see any. Listen, I think the real dilemma that we're going to have as a society is going to be technology. It's going to be, we have all these people that don't need to work. So what are you going to do? You know what I mean? It's the question of like Starfleet and Star Trek. You don't have to work. You can have a society will pay and provide for housing and all that. You don't have to work. So, but it's this enlightenment idea that, okay, I don't have to work, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to draw birds for the rest of my life. I think the real challenge for us is when we get to a reusable energy source where everything is pretty much provided or done for us. Then what do you do? How does man strive, or if he's not turning over the soil?
Oh. Check this out. There are multi-trillionaires out there, right?
Yeah, that are living that life right now.
I don't think they're trillion.
But imagine
I don't think they're trillionaires, yeah.
Multi-trillionaires.
Is there somebody that's a trillionaire already?
Jeff
so
Bezos
far,
is the
Microsoft hit $1 trillion in net worth.
Yeah,
but that's not a person.
We're talking about. Okay, hold on. The Forbes list was collected throughout the years amongst people who admit their wealth. There are people out there that do not admit their wealth.
Oh, for sure.
And we
know. I don't think you're gonna have a case of saying, I worked mad hard for my money, and you're gonna take it away from me and give it to the next person that doesn't do anything. That's not gonna happen.
There's no trillionaires.
There are no individual trillionaires.
Hold
no.
on.
Bezos is the largest one with 130 something.
Hold on.
121 billion.
There you go. 121 billion.
Yo, check this out.
That's a lot of freaking money, wow.
Hold on. Type in, are there people in this world that do not admit their riches?
First result, Wikipedia.
Bro, but we knew that from Trump's taxes, right?
Right. That's a fact. Yo, straight up fact. Somebody who has buildings across the country across the world. He's got people paying him rent for each apartment. Yo, do you know how crazy his assets must be as an individual?
I don't know. I don't think he's.
Yeah, but also he got a lot of businesses that went under that he's cleaning. You know,
a lot of businesses that went under, but that's not my point. I said his buildings that are being rented out across the world.
I understand, but the reason why he's paying so little is because they're canceling each other out.
Hold on, don't get him so defensive, bro. For your man, all right?
Bad defensive.
Relax.
No, because I see where you're going with this. And I'm explaining to you why it was so low. I understand why.
What's
because
low?
when you talk about what's low? Okay, so I'll give you an example. I like messing with stocks. With the stocks, you have to claim the money the profits that you made. But also, if you have any losses, you put those against the money that you earned. So it lowers how much you have to pay in taxes.
Yo, let me ask you a question. You don't think Trump has any cash deals?
Yeah, nigga.
In his apartment?
Probably.
Yo, cash is so easy to go undetectable.
Yeah, but I don't deny that.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why there's a whole...
We're talking about proving. You have to prove it.
Yo, bro, you can't prove it right. Nobody can prove anything right now about Trump. That's the whole discussion here.
That's why he don't release his tax, because he doesn't want to prove anything.
Bro, listen, I'm trying to tell you, if you do the math, right? How many buildings in New York does say he would have? Just in New York City alone. How many buildings do you think Trump has?
First of all, first and foremost, everyone's done a cash deal. Everyone's done a cash deal in their life at least once. Come on.
Yo, that's honest. That's American though. We are a cash society, right?
So there's nothing illegal about doing a cash deal between someone. Some would argue that it's illegal when the government gets involved. This is between me and Fulano. I'm giving him...
but bro, what I'm trying to tell you, my point is that there are riches that a lot of these people do not admit to, and they do not document or have documented. You understand?
Yeah, but we say yeah. We just say that.
Yes,
we agree.
That is 100%.
If we do a basic math right now, for example, and we say, let's say Trump has what, 25? How many buildings do you think he has?
I'm trying to find out right now.
A lot of the buildings that he has just have his name on it, but he doesn't own it.
Yeah, I know that. But that's what I'm saying. How many does he own?
How many does he own?
Because like all of them by the Henry Hudson, he don't own any of those. He just rented out his name to put on.
Trump is definitely richer than me, but I don't think I don't think he stacks up.
Yo, you don't think he stacks up?
I don't think he has money like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or Oprah Winfrey.
He probably got a few billion. He probably got a few billion.
Have you ever been to Chicago? Have you ever been to Houston, Texas, Dallas?
You think that Trump is worth more than $1 billion? You think?
Bro, Trump
11. So like I said, I miss a stock. So when you have stocks, some companies pay out dividends. Companies that pay out dividends are companies that have so much money they give out to their shareholders, right? Jeff Bezos, right now what he's doing, he's making his own UPS.
Bro, how much did he make last year alone?
Bro, let's find out.
I honestly think that Trump. I think the reason why he's avoiding showing his taxes because he doesn't make as much as he. You know what I mean? Like what he actually makes is less, and it's embarrassing to him.
How much money did Amazon? Oh, do you want Amazon or Jeff Bezos? My bad. You don't want to get Amazon. That's different.
That's a.
How much money did Jeff Bezos make in 2018? Bezos received $1.6 million. Okay, wow. 81,000. That's crazy. Amazon pays him $81,000 a year, basically, and his salary has stayed the same since 1998. He received $1.6 billion in other compensations in 2009. Therefore, his annual income in 2019 totaled $1.7 million. How could that be that low? Let's look into it.
Follow the rabbit hole.
Because him as an employee of Amazon makes that amount, but him as the owner or shareholder, that's a whole different other income.
Yeah, it's not liquid. It's all in assets.
Assets, right.
Yeah. So basically the buildings, the cars, all the freaking Amazon products that has in warehouse.
The warehouses, the
equipment.
All
infrastructure. Yeah, that's all of his money is on that. So it's not liquid cash.
No.
It's still a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Are you kidding me?
But that's what I'm trying to say. There are certain, that's just people we know of. That's just
for sure, there are people that we don't. For sure,
we do not know of. Like, for example, you ever heard?
But that just proves that your idea doesn't work, because how do you get them niggas?
Hold on.
If I was Jeff Bezos and you told me that, I'd move out of the United States.
For real, peace. No. I heard that Elon Musk is trying to go to the moon. I'm out with him.
Hold on, wait. What would you have moved out of the United States for if I told you what?
If you told me, if you're gonna take everything I've earned and worked for and divide it with everybody, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Right? So all the rich people would leave, right? You would think, right? And then there are people who would stay if I was president.
That would be poor people. That would be the poor people.
People that have no choice, yeah.
Poor people?
If people decided, you know what? This guy sounds like this is what we need. If they believed in the dream, right? In the idea, the vision, whatever. And let's say I became president and I decided to recalibrate our economy, right? There would be rich people that leave, right? There would be assets that would go overseas, etc., right? People would hold out. But as president, I think
this is going to go authoritarian. Coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
I'm going to force them to come back.
I'm coming.
Come here.
I'm sending my military after them.
Exactly.
It's funny, but this is where socialism goes, right? The Nazi Party was the National Socialist Party of whatever. It's natural. Every single socialist country has went in this direction because that's exactly what happened. People are like, F that, I'm out.
Yeah,
and
it's an idea. Socialism is ideas that usually just don't work.
It's a beautiful idea. I wish it would work.
Yeah.
But people are selfish. That's why I won't.
Right. Yeah, when you boil it down to what society is, humanity is, we are selfish.
Yeah.
We are selfish capitalist individuals who love our food.
We're Ferengi.
Yo, on that note, I love my food too, and I'm starving.
Word. I just made a killer meal, and I'm gonna holler for $1.
Wait, but let me say this.
And Noel gotta go to work in an hour and a half. You gotta clock in.
Oh my God! This guy.
So let me just say this. The one thing I can say positive about capitalism is that it has raised all ships. Right? So Jeff Bezos is crazy rich, which is crazy. But also, the poor people in the society are doing better than average people in most countries in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you live in America and you have a house over your head and a TV, I think you're in the top 1% of the world.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, but that's capitalism. Capitalism raises everybody up. Some people go high, but everybody comes up.
Yeah, some people go higher than others, but there are others at least.
Yeah, everybody comes up. How many kids starve to death in America, really? You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's probably neglect.
I was gonna say.
Like North Korea, the only one that profits is Kim Jong-un and his close family. Kim Jong-un. I'm hungry. That's why that's sounding like that. Because I'm hungry.
Hold on, what's his name?
Great leader.
Kim Jong-un.
Ooh. That's racist. That's racist, nigga.
Bro,
Yo.
it's Kim Jong-un.
I hope he hears this in his text list.
Yo, that's funny, bro.
Yo, that's it, yo. Stay alive, people. Wash your hands. I don't know what to tell you. Peace.
I definitely gotta go. Peace out.
Inconsistent.